Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. I am Nana Tufo Boate. It's a brand new week, a brand new start to the week. It's a Monday, and it's another opportunity to go out there and make a difference. So make today count, but don't forget to give thanks to God Almighty for the blessing to be counted among the living. And talk about thanking God Almighty. We're in the seasons of prayer. The month of April is dedicated as the seasons of prayer, where we'd like for you to join us for 3 different prayer sessions on a daily, okay? So every weekday in the month of April, from the 1st to the 30th, we ask that you join us for prayers. We call it the seasons of prayer. So we have the midnight cry, which happens at 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. So midnight cry, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. And then we have This Is Your Day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. And then the prayer encounter is from 12 noon to 1 p.m. 12 noon to 1 p.m. So midnight cry, This Is Your Day, and prayer encounter. All will be live on Facebook. So we'll be streaming live on Facebook. Join us at City973 on Facebook. We're on X at City973. And on Instagram at City973FM. So join us for seasons of prayer as we seek the face of God. We lift up prayer to Him. We go before Him in prayer and with supplication and ask that He, the good Lord, will continue to intervene in our endeavors. So join us for seasons of prayer on 97.3 City FM and, of course, on Facebook as well. Midnight Cry, This Is Your Day, prayer encounter. Join us and let's pray together. Remember that a family that prays together stays together. Now, while we are done with the seasons of prayer, it all accumulates into the family consecration service. So on the 1st of May, which is Labor Day, it's a Friday from 6 a.m. to 12. Let's all meet at the oil dome of the Royal House Chapel and let's pray together as a family. Family consecration service, 1st of May 2026, 6 a.m. to 12 noon, the oil dome, Royal House Chapel here in Accra. Let's all meet and pray. Testimonies have been shared over the years about the family consecration service and the miracles that people have received there. And so we'd like for you to join us so we pray together as a family. All right? So come and let us pray at the family consecration service on the 1st of May 2026. It's a 6-hour prayer session, very intense prayer session. We'll pray for the nation. We'll pray for its leadership. We'll pray for our businesses. We'll pray for our families, our children, educational institutions, just name them, all right? And then, of course, we'll have couples have the opportunity to renew their vows and express their love and affection for each other. So join us at the oil dome of the Royal House Chapel here in Accra on Friday, the 1st of May 2026 from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. Family consecration service is brought to you by 97.3 City FM and supported by Channel One Television. So we see you on the 1st of May at the oil dome of the Royal House Chapel here in Accra. Now there's a wonderful series on TV right here on Channel One Television. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, if we talk about drama, this is where drama lives. If we talk about failed and foiled plots, if you talk about, do you know ahia? Do you know what ahia is? I'll look for the English word for you. This is where it lives. I'm talking about The Blanksons. It's a new drama series, a Channel One television production, Channel One TV original, airs right here every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And you just don't want to miss it. You simply don't want to miss it. All right? So join us every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And then there are repeat slots on Tuesday. So if you miss the airing on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., you can catch the repeat at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. on Fridays, and 4:30 p.m. on Sundays. So we'll bring you a repeat broadcast on Tuesdays, 3 p.m., Fridays, 11:30 a.m., and Sundays at 4:30 p.m. We'd like to say thank you to NASCO Electronics, thank you to Lizzie Shito, thank you to Out Mosquito Coil, and thank you to Everpack for sponsoring the Blanksons here on Channel 1 Television. It's a family drama series, and it's absolutely exciting, absolutely fantastic. It will have you in bounds of laughter right from beginning to the end. And of course, a number of lessons, moral lessons learned from this series as well. So do make a date, 7:30 p.m. every Thursday, right here on Channel 1 Television for The Blanksons. The Blanksons. Wonderful production, and kudos to everyone who's part of this amazing production. So we'll see you on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. But like I said, if you miss it, catch the repeat on Tuesdays at 3 p.m., Fridays at 11:30 a.m., and Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Shouts to NASCO, shouts to Lizzie Shito, shouts to Out Mosquito Coil, and shouts to Everpack, all your paper solutions. All right, thank you so much. Now let's remind you of the Eat Ghana Rice campaign. We're asking that you eat Ghana and build Ghana. The Eat Ghana, Build Ghana, Eat Ghana Rice campaign. So eat fresh, eat Ghana, build the future. It's fresh from our farms to your plate. Yep. Now, what you're doing is that you're contributing to the local economy, you're sustaining the livelihoods of a local farmer, and you're helping to ensure that this farmer is able to keep their children or their child in school. So let's buy made in Ghana rice, let's eat made in Ghana rice, let's contribute to our local economy, let's build our country by ourselves. No one will come from anywhere to come and build this country for us. It will take you and I. You understand? So let's all commit to it by eating Ghana and building Ghana. Let your meal make a difference. Choose Ghana first. Taste the effort. Taste Ghana. The Eat Ghana, Build Ghana initiative or campaign is brought to you by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Agri Impact Limited, the MasterCard Foundation, and 24-Hour Economy and Accelerated Export Development Secretariat. So join us as we eat Ghana and build Ghana. All right. Let me show you an easy way to have access to the news. It's just simple. Go onto the Google Play Store, search Channel 1 News Online. That's where you find the Channel 1 News Online app. And you download it, you install it, and you're good to go. You have access to the news on the regular. It's very, very accurate. It's factual. It is timely. And yes, it's relevant always. So download the Channel 1 News Online app from the Google Play Store, and you can have access to all the news all the time. Okay. Now, let me take you to the newspapers now. We have a number of them this morning, so I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page says, government ponders Parkinson's on NHIS. Stakeholders advocate stronger policies for disease care. Government ponders Parkinson's on NHIS. Stakeholders advocate stronger policies for disease care. Ghana to honor American astronaut Christina Koch after Artemis II moon mission. Vice President launches Infansipim at 150. Government clears $25 million debt to Suame Interchange contractor. Republic Bank urges local enterprises to scale up. And then you have Sedina Ationu heads home. U.S. court orders extradition. So that's the front page of the Daily Graphic. You have some sports on the back page. Daily Graphic Sports, Ghana Premier League. Mediama tear Kotoko apart. Storm back to top spot. Oh, Charlie. 4-0. 4-0. Hey. Mediama. You lack respect. My beautiful Asante Kotoko, and you're going to do this to us. Hey. But anyways, that's the big story from the Ghana Premier League. Media Mater Kotoko apart, storm back to top sport. Charlie, the people, they lash us 4-0. They destroy everything for the weekend. Charlie, they make the weekend slow. You understand? Anyways, that's the daily graphic. Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times. Front page says, Kumasi faces imminent water crisis as Owabi and Barakese dams heavily choked with plastic. Kumasi faces imminent water crisis as Owabi and Barakese dams heavily choked with plastics. Yeah, Kasana, we have a problem. Fuel prices to go down. Government moves to cushion consumers. Ekyere Hene stripped off his title for rebelling against Ochimai. Ekyere Hene stripped off his title for rebelling against Ochimai. Kaneshie Footbridge closure puts pedestrians at risk. Kaneshie Footbridge closure puts pedestrians at risk. So that's the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Let's do some sports on the back page. Gold Stars, Hearts of Oak, suffer dramatic stoppage time defeats as Mediama humiliates Kotoko. Oh my goodness. The team pay me. Ghana, 96% ready to host 24th Africa Seniors Athletics Championships. That's the Confederation of African Athletics. Okay. Well, that's some confidence reposed in the country. Good news. That's it for the Ghanaian Times. Let me take you to the Chronicle. What's the Chronicle saying this morning? Government pays $25 million to contractors to accelerate work on the Suame Interchange Project. Government pays $25 million to contractors to accelerate work on the Suame Interchange Project. Methodist Church descends on Mahama over anti-gay bill comment. Pay cocoa farmers, not party executives. That's according to the minority. And Ochimai strips Ekyere Hene of traditional title. Our scripture for today is taken from the book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 27. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. So that's the front page of the Chronicle. Yep, more sports headlines on the back page. Dreams FC, Thrash bottom placed 11 wonders. Karela United, Hearts of Lions share the spoils. Vision FC in a dramatic 1-0 victory over Hearts. Mediama thump Asante Kotoko in Takwa. And stoppage time penalty hands Aduana FC win over leaders Gold Stars. So that's the Chronicle newspaper for today, Monday, April 13, 2026. Let me bring you the Daily Guide. Front page headlines. U.S. court okays convicted ex-Maslog boss extradition. U.S. court okays convicted ex-Maslog boss extradition. That's said in Atamaklu Ationu. Ochimai strips Ekyere Hene of Ketsis. Ensure quality Accra Kumasi Expressway project. That's the Asante Hene Tumfose to the second speaking there. 2. Jailed 55 years for robbery. Oof. 2. Jailed 55 years for robbery. Hold on, let me check this. How old is this guy? Stories on page 6. Guy looks very young. Okay, 2 individuals, 55 years. Okay, I'm not getting their ages. So Rashida Adams gets 30 years imprisonment. Godfred Ampedu gets 25 years imprisonment. Wow. Okay. Shall you be robber? Continue robbing. To reach everybody. All right, so that's the Daily Guide. Let me bring you the news center. Front page of the news center says government ditches unemployed teachers and nurses, rolls out new recruitment policy open to manipulations. Government ditches unemployed teachers and nurses, rolls out new recruitment policy open to manipulations. And then you have security personnel angry over 20% rent allowance deduction. Security personnel angry over 20% rent allowance deduction. Catholic bishops pressure Mahama over LGBTQI+ discord. Gutta honors BOG governor over economic stability gains. Moody's upgrades Ghana's ratings outlook to positive. So that's the front page of the News Center newspaper. Let me take you to the Herald. Larry Dogbe is the Herald newspaper. Maritime Authority breaks silence on Samia Awuku's cocaine ship accusation. Maritime Authority breaks silence on Samia Awuku's cocaine ship accusation. Sam Okujeto and daughter and law firm evade fraud claim in inheritance appeal. Sam Okujeto, daughter and law firm evade fraud claim in inheritance appeal. Energy experts warn against scrapping 12 pesos bust margin amid fuel price relief measures. Medina market traders allege extortion by suspected, quote, national security operatives. Ghana's Kiki Beho appointed head of UN mission in South Sudan. Ghana's Kiki Beho appointed head of UN mission in South Sudan. So that's the Herald newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher says Dr. Lawrence Tette's hypocrisy exposed. Oh, Ghanaian publisher. Wow. Heath Goldfields puts Ghana and Trafigura on edge. GIADEX CEO accused of favoritism. Ochimai strips a Treso Hene of title. So that's the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. Let's move on to the New Publisher. The New Publisher says, stop twisting my wife's words. We are together. Singleton husband speaks. I am action man. I am action man Bagbin. Speaker vows to pass anti-LGBT bill when Parliament resumes. Okay. 5.5 million cedis for party, nothing for farmers. Minority fumes. And Napo gives succor. Napo gives succor. So that's the front page of the New Publisher. Let me take you to the Custodian. Custodian newspaper says LGBTQ plus clergymen vocal under NPP, mute under NDC. But Catholic Methodist bishops still voices of conscience. Okay. Minority demands transparency on 1 cedi Dumso levy. Omanhene fires GIADEX CEO over bauxite agreement. Prudential Bank deepens strategic supplier partnerships at 2026 conference. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill will be passed. Bagbin assures. So that's the front page of the Custodian newspaper. Daybreak. What's the Daybreak newspaper saying? GRA staff petition Mahama to sack Kwesi Sapon. Ebe. Rexeg and Museg run away from Kajano demolition. Yesterday, the Greater Accra Regional Minister was there. She says they are unaware. They do not know about this demolition. Bust margin must stay as government moves to cut fuel taxes. Suspend publican AI system over trade disruptions. That's from Gutta on the front page of the Daybreak newspaper. The Informer says, $94 million meth cash allegation. Can AG prosecute his campaign financier? $94 million meth cash allegation. Can AG prosecute his campaign financier? Is the question on the front page of the Informer. Iyoko defense probe of Kwamega Atokle declares him a fugitive. Oh. Well, the man is a member of the Council of State. Chambers pushes for human-centered education reform. NLA debunks salary cut claims, threatens legal action over falsehoods. No Imperial Attorney General, legal scholar warns against centralizing prosecutorial powers. And a commentary on why scrapping OSP will be a profound mistake. So all that and more in the Informer newspaper. Republic Press says ex-Maslok boss hot as U.S. court gives green light for extradition. NDC under fire over farmer struggles. Cancer cases surge as health authorities struggle to explain spike. Court dismisses Wuntumi's bid to halt Galamsey trial. Awutu Senya East Assembly issues final eviction notice for Kaswa Old Market redevelopment. AMA announces night enforcement against unscreened food vendors. So that's the Republic Press. The Insight newspaper says Lands and Mines Watch GH validates Heath Goldfield's capacity at Bogoso Prestea Mines. Ghana must rethink its democracy, according to Kwame Asare-Obeng, also known as A+, Member of Parliament, Gumua Central. And Nkrumah, why he still matters in contemporary African politics. How the Israeli aggression on Iran is strangling Palestinians in the West Bank. And Ibrahim Traore, we do not want a democracy that kills. So that's the Insight newspaper. The Inquisitor says, fuel prices reduction measures don't take away bust margin. Gexim does not finance mining operations. Kujo slams AG over OSP case. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill will be passed, says the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. Now let's wrap it up with some business news. Front page of the Business and Financial Times, BNFT. In oil and gas, PIAC flags risk in $205 million 10 FPSO acquisition. Rural banking, RCBs urged to back community bank transition with real reforms. World Share Expo returns to Tamale for 2026 edition. World Bank warns of vulnerability to Middle East shock. So these and more on the front page of the BNFT. Go grab a copy at a newsstand near you and you can get the details. Let's go online real quick, bring you some headlines from our web portals. Let's begin with channel1newsonline.com. channel1newsonline.com. Today is Monday, the 13th of April. Importers, clearing agents begin strike over Publican AI system. Importers and clearing agents begin strike over Publican AI system. Sensational reporting hurting Upper East development. That's according to the regional minister. TTAG, Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. 7,000 teacher recruitment insufficient to clear backlog. Ensure fair teacher distribution to rural areas. EduWatch to government. We are not aware of Kajano demolition. That's Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu speaking there. Asafua says justice must be served in Sedina extradition case. U.S. court clears way for Sedina Tamaklo's extradition to Ghana. Several structures destroyed in Medina Reeds Junction fire. Ex-Savannah Minister Adam Brymer dies after short illness. Wenchi Water Project 97% complete. Payment delay to be cleared. That's according to the Ghana Water Limited. 2024 elections, you punish the Kufuor and NPP over anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Free primary health care to tackle no-bed syndrome. That's according to the Health Ministry. And then you have Northern Region. Families demand justice over Nanton killings. Families demand justice over Nanton killings. Now let's go to citynewsroom.com. citynewsroom.com. Guta directs traders to halt imports and duty payments over Publican AI concerns. Guta directs traders to halt imports and duty payments over Publican AI concerns. Brekum Chelsea player Dominic Frimpong killed in armed robbery attack. Oh, too sad. IMF signals rate hikes risk as Middle East tensions trigger inflation pressures. Traders Advocacy Group to strike today over Publican AI system. Publish district quotas for teacher recruitment. EduWatch to GES. New Black Stars coach to be announced today. Sports Minister Kofi Adams speaking there. Rexec and MUSEC unaware of Kajano demolition. That's according to Lindo Klu. U.S. court orders Sedina Tamaklo Atio News extradition to Ghana. Fire got several shops at Medina Reeds Junction. And you have Parkinson's patients need support, not stigma. That's according to President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo. All right, so go online, channel1newsonline.com, as well as citynewsroom.com. You get details of these stories and several others. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. We'll return pretty shortly with a news review segment.
Another year is here, a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to draw closer to God and to one another. This Family Month, your family radio station, 97.3 CDFM, invites you and your loved ones to something truly special. The 2026 Family Consecration Service, a sacred gathering where families come together in prayer, faith, and unity. It's a moment to dedicate your home to God's loving care, to seek His protection, His guidance, and His peace over every household. Come and experience divine connection as we pray for strength, restoration, unity, and direction for our families. Married couples will also have the opportunity to renew their vows, reaffirming love, commitment, and purpose. The date is Friday, the 1st of May, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel, Accra. Bring your entire family and come expectant. And let's commit our homes into God's hands. 2026 Family Consecration Service is powered by 97.3 CDFM with support from Channel 1 TV, because the family that prays together stays together.
Calls me up in the power for Christ the solid.
Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
With the complexities of the issues happening around us on a daily basis, it's the hard-hitting conversations and the probing questions of The Point of View.
So what is the Public Account Committee's job?
So what we do is to scrutinize, clarify, and find out why certain infractions have been made.
What do these IMF programs try to do?
The current program is for budget support.
Okay.
There are no projects attached.
That teases apart the twisted entanglements of politics and governance, as well as religious and social discourse. The Point of View brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issues.
What authority do you have?
The Point of View airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Wow. This is 1998. I can't believe I'm turning 50. When I look back, all that I can remember is all I've been given. Life, friendships, family, and dedicated fans. And I still have a seat in a beautiful industry, enjoying the opportunity I've been given to serve Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. But check this out. Channel 1 TV says they want to celebrate me. They say I'm a good example. Is it true? For my 50th birthday, I'm going to build a pediatric emergency center at Menchia Hospital. That is why all these young and vibrant celebrities are coming out to Plus 233 on the 18th of April to come so that we throw this amazing white party together to raise money for that hospital. Kwame Eugene, Kidi, Kimpaluta, Amrado, Miss V, Sister Fia, a free year, Kwabna, Talent, Abiana, Akwabwa, Abochi, Brothers, Raskuku, Adina, and another friend of mine, Andy Dusty on the 1 and 2s. He is not young. 9 p.m. till you are tired of listening to great music. I know that Channel 1 wishes that they could bring all of this excitement for free, but because we are trying to build a pediatric emergency center at Menchia, please be happy to pay 1,500 for VVIP and 1,000 cedis for VIP. See you there.
Every day across Ghana, stories unfold. Stories of hope, struggle, courage, and progress. At Channel One TV, we tell your story with truth and heart, giving voice to the people, holding power to account, and empowering change that moves our nation forward. Channel One TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Hello and thank you so much for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel One Television. We're going into the news review segment where we get to have a conversation on some topical issues. We'll also extend an invitation to you to join us with your thoughts, your comments and contributions. Let us know what you think about the various submissions that will be made on the show by our guests. You can do so via the WhatsApp number on your screens. We're streaming live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Drop a comment there. You can also like, you can follow, you can subscribe, and you can share our content on all social media platforms, on X, on Instagram. And we have some exclusive video content for you on TikTok, so do well to follow and to subscribe. Once again, you're welcome. Let me say good morning to my guest in studio. Elvis Darko is the editor of the News Center newspaper. Elvis, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too.
Very well. Ibrahim Ajay is the resident country director for International Investments LLC. Ibrahim, good morning.
Good morning, Anasifo.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Elikem Kotoko is the deputy CEO of Ghana's Forestry Commission. Comrade, good morning. It's good to see you too.
Feels good to be here.
Yes. All right, let's get straight into our conversations. We have a number of topical issues this morning. We begin with the matter of the Middle East tensions and its subsequent impact on fuel prices. The president, following a cabinet meeting last week, has directed the removal of some taxes and margins on the petroleum price build-up. Hopefully today we'll hear from the ministers in charge of energy and finance on which specific taxes will be removed. We've heard some stakeholders, including COPEC, suggest something in the region of 1 cedi 70 pesos likely to go off. We've heard concerns or campaigns for the maintenance of the bust margins. But let's find out from our guest what they do expect from this announcement that is yet to be made. So I'll start with you, Elvis. An emergency cabinet meeting was convened, occasioned by the Middle East tensions and its impact on pricing of fuel globally and, of course, back home, how it is hitting us. This announcement by the two ministers, finance and energy, what are your expectations? I am of the view that if it was going to have been the 1 cedi energy levy, outrightly that announcement would have been made last week. So I don't think that one is going.
Why was there an emergency cabinet meeting?
To look at the price build up again and cushion Ghanaians.
But was it not the same government to put that something that's up to 7,000 kilometers away has no impact on Ghana? If something that happens 7,000 kilometers away has no impact on Ghana, why is it something that is happening in a similar region now is having impact on the emergency cabinet meeting? There are directives.
We know the direct impact on fuel.
No, but are you telling me that those times that they were talking about, it wasn't enough fuel price that were going to almost $140? At the time that we're talking, the fuel price
this is Russia, Ukraine.
The fuel price will go to $140. And we will not told that something that is happening 7,000 kilometers away has no impact on Ghana. So why is the need for cabinet meeting and why these directives?
Well, we need to cushion Ghanaians. So this is a listening government.
Politicians looking for power always say things for the votes. What the cabinet meeting just tells that what they said during the campaign was just for votes. They were very much aware because President Mahama had been in government before. And during his time, there were similar things. So he knew that what was happening at the time definitely will impact Ghana. But because of votes, they said, oh, forget about it. Anybody telling you that Russia and Ukraine was having impact on Ghana, oh, forget it. I always say that when politicians manage the expectations of the people, then we will also be fine with them. But when they raise our expectations and they tell us all kinds of, and then you come and you are doing the same thing that you accuse somebody of, then you create the situation where the ordinary people now want to take you on. We all knew that Ghana does not price crude oil. Ghana does not price gold. Ghana does not price cocoa. These things are priced on the international market, and several factors that happen will affect it. We say Ghana to Ukraine is 7,000 mark. Can you measure America to Ukraine? Can you measure America to Iran? But Americans are weeping about increasing fuel prices. The people in the UK are weeping. Germans are weeping. Aside the fuel prices, stock markets are losing billions and billions because of what is happening, the disruptions to supply chains. So you see, this is what we all must understand, that when there is a disruption to supply chain, it doesn't matter which aspect, where in the world the thing is happening. Because we are in a global world where what you use here is coming from somewhere. So per the agreement President Mama and NDC used, the question will even be asked that then Ghana's oil doesn't even pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So why is the price of oil increasing in Ghana? They knew all these things. That it doesn't matter, anything that happens anywhere, even if Trump coughs, it will affect the oil price.
Geopolitical tension.
But it's, let's check the distance from America to Ghana. Okay, so politicians should learn to tell us that, look, these things, we as a country, as Ghana, we have no control over them. When they happen, it will reflect at the pumps. Because we all know that until this directive has been given or is carried out, government is not subsidizing petroleum products. We are paying the full cost, including the government taxes. You understand it? And therefore, at the end of the day, these things will happen. When COVID happened, the president then said, people on lifeline electricity for 3 months, they shouldn't pay any electricity bills. Where will the money come from? We have to go and borrow to go and pay. But at the same place, the government is borrowing too much. Right now, 240 has come to tell us that last year, we borrowed 17 billion to be able to pay salaries.
Yeah.
The taxes on petroleum products are revenue for government. If there are projections government has used actually to determine what they are going to do this year in the budget, now that we are going to remove or suspend some, definitely there will be revenue gaps because the expected money from those taxes and margins that are likely to be suspended will no longer come to government anymore.
Indeed.
And therefore, the borrowing government will have to go and look for the money from somewhere to make sure that that does not happen. You understand it? So let's make issues of economy and running of a country one that people will have a clearer perspective instead of confusing the people by all kinds of political statements. Okay? When COVID happened, per the Minister of Finance records at that time, revenue of about 13 billion that was suspected didn't come because of the trade disruptions. The ports were empty, nothing was coming. You know, our single largest revenue generator is the port. So government lost revenue that actually it budgeted for. So it lost about 13 billion of money that it was expecting. It didn't come. And then because of COVID, it had to do additional expenditure to be able to fight COVID, where the finance minister also told amounted to about 11 billion. So if you put together, government has to carry a debt of about 25 billion that it didn't plan for. And now we are going somewhere collecting all kinds of, a lot of the money that came in for us to fight COVID, they were loans. They were not free money, including money from the IMF. They were all loans that added to our public debt that we have to work and pay. So you see, for me, I always say that the economy doesn't know NDC, doesn't know NPP. There are so many issues. Road doesn't know NPP, doesn't know NDC. They will affect everybody. When the fuel prices started going up from the 10 and 11 we were enjoying, now they started going up all the way to almost 14 and 17 for diesel. Did they say that NDC people should come and take it at 10 and NPP people should come and take it at 14? No. We all pay the same amount at the pumps. So when issues are happening, things are happening, we want our country to, when we let the people understand that, look, these things, these are the implications, then the people can easily sacrifice. They won't be putting pressure on the government. The government wants to remove this or to suspend someone because of the pressure from the public that the prices are going too high. You didn't. That's what you promised us in during your campaign. But what the people, those of us who are pushing the government, have forgotten is that the monies that will be generated by what will be suspended were part of government's projections in the budget.
True.
So the moment they are suspended, it means that the revenue is not going to come. But if the government is to be able to actually implement this budget, it means they have to find that money from somewhere else. That's why now we are in the bond market looking for 15.2 billion within 3 months between the bonds and the T-bills. The past 2 weeks, returns for treasury bills have under subscription for almost 30% for last week and the previous week. Under subscription of 30% because the rate government is giving, people are not happy, so they are not taking them. So government want to go and borrow from the treasury bills market to be able to make up for some. And now people are also not even buying the treasury bills because they think the rates are too low. So government revenue to be able to run the country, government is in a fix. So you see, we all need to understand that it's this unnecessary partisanship that we have adopted in this country, especially in election year because we want vote. When you do it and at the end of the day you come to power and similar things are happening, then that becomes grounds for the ordinary people to now be holding you to accountable that that was not what you promised.
True.
What you promised, not what you are doing. You understand?
Right.
So for me, let's learn lessons. We have always said that petrol politics, all these things, let's leave them aside because we don't control the prices. Let the Ghanaian understand that if petrol goes to 30 cedis a liter, you pay because the taxes government has put there, there are monies that government is taking to be able to do the same thing that the Ghanaian is demanding from the same government. So if now that we are putting pressure on the government to remove it, in fact, if we are not careful, we may even go back to doom so. Because even the 1 cedi levy we are told that we have been put, we were told that it will generate about 5.7 billion. But the fact is that there is a $1.2 billion deficit to buy fuel to actually power the power plant each year.
Yeah.
And that was not factored into electricity bills, okay, until this government came into power. And now they say they want to do something about it. Even the 5.7 billion, even they generated, it's still not enough to cover that deficit. Last 2 weeks, President Mama told us that in just 9 years, Ghana has paid about $8 billion for energy sector debt. So if we are forcing the government to now suspend taxes because we won't release, the bottom line is that the money they will need to buy the fuel and run the machines for us to get electricity, if they don't have it, what will then happen? We will go back to doom so. So me, I have always said that me as a Ghanaian, and I know many Ghanaians will say that look, they will prefer that the lights are on than for you to give them a relief and then there is doom so every now and then. I believe that no Ghanaian want doom so. That's why when the NDC brought the 1 cedi, many people didn't complain because the promise was that it will ensure that the lights will be on. And I believe that for us as Ghanaians, the lights will be on. Personally, me, if I'm paying more for the lights to be on, I prefer it than the lights being off. Because when the light is off, apart from personal discomfort, it affects everything in the economy. If you are working somewhere now because of off and on, the company decide to cut down on the number of staff and it affects you. How are you going to survive? Or the company closes down, how are you going to survive? But if you are working, you are getting the salary, and you are even using a large chunk to pay the electricity, at the end of the day, at least you get some salary.
Very well.
So we should all begin to look at these issues of fuel, cocoa, gold, the commodities. We should know that we don't price them, though we have cocoa here. We don't determine the price.
The price
is determined in the world market. This morning I checked the price of oil. Despite all the promises by Trump, because the talks failed, all have started rising again. As of this morning, Brent is $102 and WTI is $104. You understand it? Definitely it will have reflected at the pumps. So let's all begin to make these conversations. Let Ghanaians believe that, they understand that when this is happening elsewhere, though it's far away from Ghana, because we are in a global market, these things come directly to affect all of us. How do we all sacrifice to make sure that we don't put the country in a situation where the government will now have to force to go and be borrowing so much, and at the end of the borrowing come to affect the economic indicators, and then we all start complaining again.
All right, Elvis, thank you. Thank you. Ibrahim, let me come to you. I will take off from where Elvis left off. It was the expectation that the talks will be successful. So I'm thinking that the ceasefire talks.
Okay. So again, we're still looking at international
because then
reasons.
The projection was for the removal of these taxes and margins to last an initial 4 weeks, based on what will happen
at the talks.
And how it will exactly. But now it looks like the talks, it won't happen. J.D. Vance is back in the U.S. The prices already going up, as Elvis mentioned. WTI is up, Brent crude is up. So, I mean, should we be focusing on securing reserves than reliefs?
I'll come to that in a minute, but I want to pivot to what Elvis said. And this is a message for John Dramani Mahama. You see how the chickens have come home to roost. It's very important. He was telling us, and I'm reiterating what Elvis has said earlier, and I'll come back to your point about whether we need reserves. you stood on a platform saying how, again, I'm repeating, 7,000 miles away, that thing can't affect Ghana, but it's homegrown. That's what he said. January 2025, Brent crude, the price per barrel was $77. Yeah. 77 to 82. I'm coming. I'm putting into context.
After Venezuela
Brent
was
crude,
captured, they started
January
rising.
2025, when Mahama just entered office, averaging $77 Brent crude. Today it's 102. Now let's go back to the price of fuel. In 2025, I'm giving you a date, January the 6th. Petrol, and I'm quoting Goil, okay? Goil was selling at 14.75. Okay?
For petrol.
Today, for petrol. Today, okay, the national average is 13 cities and 50. Just a city difference. But Goil is selling at 12 cities, 40. Some are selling at 12 cities, 40. So did we come? And look at the difference. $77 a barrel.
Yeah.
Under Akufo-Addo, I'm talking January 6th. He was still president then. 77. Now look at it. 102. Bear in mind, it went all the way up to 153. Reached 160, came down to 140. I'm talking at the time of the Russia-Ukraine war that John Dramani Mahama, the president, said had nothing to do with the economy and it was homegrown. So what are you doing? Why are you having an emergency meeting? Or are you friends with Agrachi? Agrachi is the foreign minister for Iran. Are you friends with Putin? Because they are also inside. Are you friends with Xi Jinping? Are you in the meeting with Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu? That you feel it necessary to hold a cabinet meeting on a weekend. It means it's urgent. It's present.
No, it was on Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
It was last Thursday.
I'm sure they discussed it over the weekend too.
The ministers, I think, met over the weekend.
Good.
But the cabinet meeting was on Thursday.
Thank you for the additional information, Nana Tufo. So it comes back to what I'm saying, and I'll come to the reserves. John Dramani Mahama, the president, should come and apologize to Ghanaians.
Don't you think it's because of what he said in opposition about issues 7,000 miles away not affecting us? Reason why he has held a cabinet meeting to cushion Ghanaians at this point?
Why do you need to cushion? Tell us the reasons. You should not bring any foreign policy or global shock or extraneous third-party elements into the reason why you have in the cabinet. Say you need more revenue or you want to give relief, that the city is doing so well, you want to now pass on that benefit to Ghanaians. Frame it like that. Situate it like that.
But would that be the case?
Well, that is not the case. And it was not the case when the Russia-Ukraine war happened. And he knows it very well. So we won't let go
But
of
when
this.
Russia-Ukraine happened, there was no cabinet meeting to cushion Ghanaians?
There was no cabinet meeting to
cushion Ghanaians. You're working with the reality on the ground. And listen to this. Margins. What are margins? Do you know what the margins are? If you don't know, I'll tell you. When they say, I heard Felix Ofosu-Kwakye say, oh, we're going to, suspend the margins. Some taxes and margins.
Okay. So let's look at the margins. Margins constitute around 85, between 85 pesos and 130 cedis.
So there's the bust margin, the primary distribution margin.
Yes,
and
you have the bulk
UPPF.
distribution, oil marketing companies, okay?
Yeah.
And you're right, the primary distribution. Now these, for those watching, the primary distribution margin, so those of us who buy petrol, you need to know where those costs are. How is your city, how is it that you're paying, as of today, 13 cities 50 on the national average? The primary distribution margin is paid to the transporters, those who are moving the fuel across the country. The boss margin, again, those who, it funds the storage of the oil. And then again, the BDC, the bulk distribution. Companies, that covers the bulk, those who are importing. There are costs involved in importing. Then the oil marketing companies as well. It covers the filling stations, operations and profits. Now, you want to ask yourself, so why are we suspending them? Since these are things we are normally paying to these operators, why don't they just charge and you government tax them? It's because we operate a regulated system. You cannot charge what you want. I'm talking the oil marketing companies.
That's deregulated.
Yes, it's a regulated, no, but it's deregulated, but it's regulated. Deregulated means you can charge what you want. You cannot charge what you want. There's a floor set by the NPA. Okay, and you have to work within those margins. And so those components are also added on, the margins. Okay? So what does that happen? It means it's a cost. So when you suspend the margin, as Felix Ofosu-Kwakye relayed from President John Dramani Mahama, you are shifting the pain. There's a pain. Cost is a pain. You are shifting it. So what will happen? For those companies who say, Pesa, I don't like that. I'm going to do what I'm doing. Either you'll be suspended or fined. I'm talking oil marketing companies. You agree. And then later on down the line, you reintroduce it. Others too will only service those filling stations that have high volume. Because the cost for me to send it to, let's say, Gushegu or Palogu, okay, it's too far.
Yeah.
So those fuel stations will be underserved, especially in rural areas. Because it's costing me to transport, but government is not paying me to transport.
Yeah.
So they'll make that economical decision, say, as for you all the way down in Teshin Lejokuku, I'm not serving you today.
Yeah.
I'm serving Airport Shell, because I'm getting millions of cities there. So what will happen? You find that there's shortages, which has been, let's say, manufactured by government policy. Because OMCs, they're a business. If you're not going to pay me to transport, I won't transport. So these are the things that we need to understand. That when they say we're going to reduce some of the margins, I want to say we Ghanaians are going to pay back later.
Right.
And this economy that John Dramani Mahama is somehow architecting, people are saying, Ghanaians, go on TikTok, go on WhatsApp, go on Facebook, social media, regardless of partisan colors, Nana Tufo, everybody is complaining about the government.
Really?
Yes. Have you not gone on? You go on. They're saying things are hard. With this exchange rate policy that they keep trumping on, having spent over $11 billion. This is Bank of Ghana, not Ibrahim Majid talking, to prop up the cedi falsely against the dollar. Did we go or did we come? With all your propping up, and yes, the cedi is now gone up. You're looking at around 12. You can get some for 11.5. Others are giving 12 cedis to the dollar. But the range is there, between 11 cedis 50 to 12. Before it's 10.46. See where things are going. And then you come and tell us that, oh, John, it's the Iran-Israel-US aggression. Really?
Is it not?
Yes, it is. But why didn't he recognize that? And then I heard some NDC commentator, a pedestrian commentator. He said, oh, but these are only two countries. I'm talking Russia and Ukraine, all right? You know? And this involves the USA and Israel and Iran, so there is more pressure on this war. And I want to say to the guy, are you not aware that the European Union is with Ukraine, a union of 20 plus countries, are siding with Ukraine in this war, which has affected global supply chain, economies, inflation shot up across the globe because of we call it Russian-Ukraine war, but it's not a duopoly. It's not two people monopolizing a war. You have a swathe of Western Europe backing one party. I'm talking Ukraine in the war. So when I heard that pedestrian NDC commentator, I didn't want to respond. Sometimes if you give a response, you are elevating them where they need no elevation. But that's the reality. You asked a good question, Nana Tufo. Is it not the case?
Yeah.
That these pressures are causing these shocks to our system. And inflation will increase. I heard somebody, again, this was on YouTube, and so I'm not citing any CNN, Al Jazeera, Fox News said this. But somebody saying that the way things are going, right now, President Trump, in his foolishness, said he's going to blockade. Anybody who looks at a satellite image of the Strait of Hormuz, it is a pincer. All it takes is one RPG, rocket-propelled grenade. Bah,
that's it.
It's finished. And the drones have been doing their job. They've been going over the Iron Dome in Tel Aviv, destroying infrastructure in Qatar, data warehousing in Kuwait, in terms of Saudi Arabia, the installation there. And the Iranians say, look, we are targeting carefully. You dare touch our desalination plants. I'm talking America and Israel. You dare touch our power plants. Then those installations who are allied to you. I'm talking the GCC, the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Jordan is part, but again, UAE, United Arab Emirates. That's the Dubai and the Dohas that we all visit. Right now, $1 trillion economy has gone down. I mean, I think we're all avid consumers of news now. I'm always on YouTube, always on TikTok, listening to what's happening. Because if you want to trust the mainstream news, I'm talking your BBC and your Sky, forget it. They'll give you a skewed view of what's happening. Go for those on the ground having, let's say, an objective view of information that's coming in. Why am I pivoting to this? It all relates to the fact that one of the commentators, I'm coming back to what I was saying earlier, Nana Tufo, they're saying that oil per barrel, if this thing goes on until around August of this year, you're looking at easily $150 a barrel, going up to 200. And the moment you see an RPG hit one of the blockades that America is doing from Tehran's ports, game is over. London insurance companies will say we cannot insure
the oil tankers.
the oil tankers. And what does that do? Reserves are at a minimum. Pakistan and Bangladesh, well, Pakistan is getting fuel right now. Bangladesh is crying out for LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, not LNG, liquefied natural gas. LPG, that's what they used to cook. That's what we used to cook. And you can, and then again, fertilizers. There are so many byproducts of the oil industry. Plastics, we heard recently, last week, what is
Sachet water
increasing.
The
So
polymer.
Mohammed said this has nothing to do with Iran, nothing to do with
So the
Russia.
concern is his failure to admit
My
the impact
concern
in opposition.
is that when you are disingenuous, that means you lack leadership. A leader will stand on the merits of the issue and argue his or her points accordingly. So now we have every reason to say that your duplicitousness, you know, your lack of integrity, okay, your backsliding, your back turn, and I know we'll come back to LGBTQ to see again how this flip-flop of a president on never mind Ukraine, Russia, on LGBTQ. Again, John Mahama is flip-flopping.
We'll get there.
I know we'll get there.
We'll
so
get there.
these are the reasons why Ghanaians, when you're suffering at the pump, as we all are, understand that it's international geopolitical reasons. We're not laying it on John Mahama's head.
No.
That would be wrong of me to say that he caused them. But as a leader, I can recognize and others can recognize that, no, there are other shocks. Now, what you do to manage the situation is what will set you out as a leader. As Akufo,
And that's what he has done.
managed.
And that's what he has done.
And I've just given you an example. This, you're suspending the pain. That cost has to be paid. Ghanaians should not think for a second that these costs are disappearing.
Just like the free electricity bills.
The free electricity bill, what happens there? Well, yeah, you borrow and you pay. Okay, and then when this government came in, what did they do? They increased it. Then you've got to ask yourself, why did you increase? You know, managing an economy and the components of the economy takes skill.
Yeah.
I'll give credit to the NDC where it's deserved. They managed on the exchange rate, yes, but at what cost? 11. Again, I'm quoting Bank of Ghana, $11 billion. We have used to prop up the city. That's Bank of Ghana. J. Ibrahim and J. U.
Very well.
Very
Very well. Elikem, quick thoughts. Relief or pain suspension? Will it come back to bite us?
Thank you, Nana Tufo. And I, first and foremost, permit me to wish Deputy Chief of Staff.
Stan. Yes.
Stan Dogbe.
Yes. It's 50th, right?
Yes.
Nice.
A belated happy birthday. One fine gentleman who always knows what he is about and how to go about his duties. Now, I think that starting off, the two gentlemen to my left should bow their heads in shame.
Really?
For the kind of warped logic they want to propose to the consumption of the viewing public. In the first place, President Mahama did not rule out that there was an impact on Ghana's economy as a result of the Russia-Ukraine war. But he was stressing the fact that lack of leadership and responsibility made a government blame everything and anything on Russia-Ukraine. If you recall, if you ask anything about the economy, any problem, What every MPP Parachiki had to respond to, or as a response, was because of Russia-Ukraine war. If you ask why prices of this are high, Russia-Ukraine. If you even ask why that is happening, Russia-Ukraine. But let me ask, has the Russia-Ukraine war ended?
No.
So when President Mahama took office, and from that time till now, what happened? I think you should be ashamed the kind of leadership we had under your tenure in the past 8 years. Whether it was governance, it was leadership, it was rulership, it was authoritarian, a leader who nobody could point out to say anything. And I was so surprised to hear a media person like Elvis say that Ghana does not take its fuel, Ghana's fuel doesn't pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and so why is it? I mean, a failure to appreciate what global trading means would make you only submit such a very deficient argument. Now, when there was Russia-Ukraine war, we all witnessed it. But what are the major commodities that Russia trades, or Ukraine trades, or the two countries trade with Africa? And that is why I'm telling you, if you recall, President Mahama, during one of his speeches, even outside the shores of Ghana, again even admitted globally that yes, indeed they were. However, the mismanagement and inefficiency on leadership caused us to suffer the more. And the IMF also confirmed the same. So why would you be such hypocritical in cherry picking us and which you think favors you and want to say? So Russia-Ukraine war is the major reason why we suffered all that we went through in that period. Ask yourself, why is it that this US-Iran-Israel war is ongoing, yet we still have a very strong currency? And that is one thing you need to look at. Imagine that the cedi was still at pegged at how much was it? 15 or 16 at the time they left power.
14.
14. What would have been the price of fuel today at the pump? It would have been higher. So many people have asked questions like, what has President Mahama done? What have you done? Then Ibrahim is saying that you propped up this. Is it as if that money was taken and pumped into the system? The Ghanaians come and take this money and spend it to make the cedi potent? So a failure of an appreciation of exactly what the economic indicators are and how to effectively manage them will cause you to make some of these submissions. Were we not in this country when inflation rose to as high as 54? It definitely was blamed on what? Russia-Ukraine war. When the cedi was at 14, whatever, it was blamed on Russia-Ukraine war. When fuel price rose to whatever, Russia-Ukraine war. If people were mismanaging and doing things, blame on Russia-Ukraine war. And the greatest evidence you can turn to is even the IMF that has made it very clear that government failed to control itself during that era. And if the IMF is saying this, who am I again to say otherwise to that? And so if you, today, you now know Ghanaians are suffering because fuel price has risen to 13 and 14, compared to your time when it rose to 17.99 and 23.49. And at that same time, inflation was almost 53 or 54%. And I have also seen a lot of very, very myopic submission by people in the MPP, even including some of their members of parliament who have demonstrated that they have no business being close to that building at all.
Really?
Suggesting that they have heard that inflation has dropped to single digit, but prices are still increasing. For Christ's sake, if they ever step in the four walls of a classroom, what inflation means is that it's not to mean that prices will stop.
Drop.
No.
No.
It is only telling you that it will still increase though, but at this percentage. So if you have people like one Madam PAJ, and I've forgotten the name, I mean,
the deputy minority leader,
I think so.
Patricia PAJ.
I think so. Such
Really?
a very shallow argument to be made, and I just could only look at my palm because all I could see was this is a woman who looks as shallow as my palm because she had no understanding of what inflation meant. And this is somebody who's been elected by people to represent them in parliament. Now, when you look at all of this, Elvis said that we don't control prices. We do not. Yes, we do not. But we have factors that we can control.
Yeah.
We can influence. That is why the margins need to be looked at. Because if you look at the margins and think of I think I have that here. Just a moment. This early morning, I tried to, if you look at about the 24% taxes and levies, we may look at what we think that deserves some look so that we either scrap that or reduce that. Just as some are already proposing that maybe the the 1 cedi levy should be taken off, etc. But isn't that so even interesting? That this is a regime that is seeking to resolve matters, has even imposed a 1 cedi levy. And imagine, even in spite of all of that, fuel prices are still lower than they were under the NPP. More importantly, the Russia-Ukraine war is ongoing. And it's been coupled again further with this triangle of US.
Israel, Iran.
So weigh the two and tell me who is doing what, right? And who is not doing what. And then if you want to
it's not
say,
the admission of the impact of these geopolitical tensions, but how you manage it.
It's how you manage it. It's how you manage it. So when you say that, for instance, President John Mahama mounted podiums and said that how can something happening in 7,000 miles be? Because you were blaming almost every problem of Ghana on Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, it was your impotence at handling the economy. You failed to do the things that were expected of you. And the IMF made it so clear that you were very deficient in management of the economy. And this you have not been. As we speak today, even a finance minister who was always clad in white, quoting Bible verses, who I consider to be a high...
I just had a feeling you would rope him in.
Yes, because I consider to be a hardened criminal, has
Really?
left this
No, but
country.
he's not being pronounced.
Well, I am
guilty
not
by
using the
any-
legal term criminal. The English definition of criminal also tells that. I consider him to be a hardened criminal who is running away from accountability today as we speak. He doesn't want to even come to his own country. He would prefer to be in ICE detention or be put under house detention or whatever to be in his own country. And even shamefully to now come out to say that he fears he will not be given fair trial. How?
But that's a legitimate concern. He can raise.
Everybody can raise anything as a
Exactly.
legitimate concern. That was why they were blaming everything on Russia, Ukraine. And they thought Ghanaians were so gullible to believe so. And so I am not surprised and I don't get moved when you throw words or try to make it look like Ghanaians are suffering, President Mahama has deceived them. The Ghanaian there saw the arrogance and the deficiency in the leadership that we witnessed for 8 years under the MPP led by President Nado and his vice president, who I could tell was good at nothing except nodding his head. Because he said he had locked the, how do we call it? The currency and giving the keys to the IGP. What happened afterwards? He later on veered to become a digital what have you, something that was already the trend of the globe. Look, the world was already moving into AI.
Someone had to spearhead it.
You don't necessarily need it. It's the direction we need to move. Let me even tell you, as a continent, Africa, we are already late in catching up.
True.
The tomorrow we keep talking about or the future we keep talking about arrived yesterday. So we have already got a catch up to do. So it hasn't got to do with anybody. You would realize yourself you are late and we need to catch up. It rather provided an avenue for further dissipation of the public purse. Didn't we hear of the zip line figures involved in all of that? But that is not the area of focus today.
Let me ask you this. The ceasefire talks haven't worked. We projected or anticipated 4 weeks of this removal of subsidies and taxes, hoping that this ceasefire will be successful. But that hasn't worked. So where do we stand now going forward? Mind you, the specific taxes and margins to be removed have not been announced. So we don't even know how much that will come to and how much of a relief that will give us.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you see, that is why it is in the bosom of government to also look at that. When there are over 24% of that, of the component, is from levies and margins.
Yeah.
I think, let me get that right. We have about 16 or 11, 16 and 11 also. Let me just get that right. 16% being for the OMCs and the BDCs, which is somehow like you can consider to be a no-go area. But with the 24% that we're looking at, which means that we can have some relief from that end. What it means is that, well, government will need to bite the bullet. That, okay, today should we take 1 cedi off or 2 cedi off pending this? So for all you know, whilst the ministers are sitting to discuss, okay, in total, we have the capacity to take off 4 cities, but we cannot take off the 4 cities at a go. Let's take out 1 cedi now while we wait and see what happens. If it continues, then we may take another 1 cedi off. Then we look at this and move on.
But now, this is revenue loss.
Yes, these are revenue loss. But if you see, leadership that seeks to be accountable must also find innovative ways to, for instance, seal the other loopholes in order to ensure that we generate. Don't forget that last year we are made to understand that there's been a trade balance in terms of our engagements, which means that we've actually exported more than we imported. And so if we will be increasing that alone, that will mean that we may be adding another $1 billion or $2 billion, or even increasing what we actually did. And we all know that in this country, there are a lot of loopholes. Just yesterday, for instance, while I was driving through the streets of Accra, I noticed that a lot of the street lights are being fixed and are on. Along the way, some were still not functioning. Then I kept asking again, what is the problem with us that even street levy that every Ghanaian pays, we cannot keep all the street lights on? We therefore must make must make things work. I mean, if you look at our neighboring Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore is doing something so significant there. Just 2 days ago, on the motorway, close to about 50 moving construction equipment were being moved up north. About a month ago, also in the night, I saw a similar thing happening. We must also find ways we will do ours. And so the fact is not that we are denying the happenings of the global geopolitics. If Donald Trump coughs or says anything untoward, it affects all of us. True. Compare that to Russia, Ukraine. That is why I'm saying that they should bow their heads in shame. Because ever since the NDC government came to power, did the Russia-Ukraine war cease? It didn't cease. Yet you had a leader who was still able to manage the forex to make the cedi gain potency against the bullish dollar. You had a leader who was able to bring inflation as low as to a single digit. So imagine that at this time, President Mahama was also complaining about Israel and Iran war, and at the same time complaining about Russia-Ukraine. And then the status quo remained. It meant that maybe inflation would have now been at 75% or something thereabout. the cedi would have been selling at, let's say, 20 or 25 to the dollar, and then fuel price would have been what? Probably would have been paying 30 cedis per liter. I am not saying that Ghanaians should therefore clap for us that we've done everything, but the government is demonstrating that it is capable and has an appreciation of what exactly is happening. And President Mahama is tackling the bull by the horn by making sure. When President Akufo-Addo was in power, in November 2022, when Ghanaians were calling for a reduction in price and all that, what did he not say? Just like the way he speaks anyhow to the chiefs at the time. He said to Ghanaians that it was not possible, as simple as that. This is a leader who does not understand the difficulty people were going through. And at that point in time was even when he was even having a V8 that was carrying the chair he sat on. Do you know the cost that was to the taxpayer? So let us not play hypocrisy over this. And it is not a matter of politicians. The MPP mounted platform saying what it believed it could do. The NDC also mounted platform believing what it could do. Have they delivered? Yes. Entirely? No. But you need to measure them by what percentage they have been able to achieve that over the period. So I disagree strongly with Elvis suggested that politicians, when it is time for election, look, it is just cowardice. Be bold and say that you are NPP and want to criticize the NDC in this way. So we know how to respond to you appropriately, than rather making it look as though you are trying to say that when politicians do that, please, that is hypocrisy personified.
Very well. Elvis, 2 more minutes on this matter and then we can wrap it up.
Well, if there's any hypocrisy, it's the one who is exhibiting the hypocrisy. When I said our oil did not pass through Strait of Hormuz, it's rhetorical. I'm saying it in response to President Mahama's comment that something that is happening 7,000 kilometers away should not affect Ghana. So when I say our oil does not pass through Strait of Hormuz, it's a rhetorical response to that comment made by President Mahama. That if indeed something 7,000 kilometers away cannot affect Ghana, there's something happening in a similar region should not affect Ghana. And in this case, our oil doesn't even pass there. So it should not affect Ghana. So it's a response to what he has said. So if there's any hypocrisy, he's the one who is making the hypocrisy. Secondly, he limited everything that happened under Akufo-Addo government in terms of economy to Russia-Ukraine war. That is a complete misleading propaganda. And that is what people must understand. NPP's government under Akufo-Addo's problem didn't start with Russia-Ukraine war. That is a falsehood. It was COVID that broke the whole world's economy down. COVID is what broke the whole world's economy down. And I mentioned it here, revenue that the state budget was expecting, 13 billion, didn't come. And government had to spend an additional over 11 billion in order to buy the PPEs and those things to fight the COVID. That was where the process started. At the time it started, Ghana's foreign reserves was over $9.6 billion in just a year, because we also lost assets that now the reserve has come down to about 2.6 billion. So you have no reserves that you can touch to do anything. So the economy was boiling, things were happening. COVID did not affect only Ghana, everywhere. Every country's economy was really screaming from COVID. So if you create the impression that the previous government blamed every economic problem on Russia and Ukraine, that is just to create an economic propaganda for political reasons. Because the problem, Ghana's economy was completely, virtually down with COVID. So at the time that the whole world thinks that there seems to be some way now, we realize that there's a way to deal with COVID, which is now trying to help to stabilize economies around the world to be able to come back. Then Russia-Ukraine war came. So the question is now that it seems like everybody seems to have found a way of fighting COVID. Why is it that it seems like the little stability that was coming up is going down? Then the explanation was that, yes, if not for the Russia-Ukraine, the stability that started would have continued. But because of the Russia-Ukraine war, the effect of the COVID and how now every government is trying to find a way to be, including government of Ghana. Because if you look at the data, it will tell you that at the time Russia-Ukraine war came in, the economy was trying to find its way around all the boil it went through. Then the unexpected Russia-Ukraine war came. So then the complaint was that, you said the economy is about to now start taking off. Why is it that we ended this? Because of the Russia-Ukraine, which you cannot deny, because everywhere in the world, it was a problem. When there's a global event that is unexpected, in the first few months, everybody gets distracted because it's unexpected and nobody knows what will happen. So it will affect you to a point. But when it comes a war that will be fought in perpetuity, then it's no longer something that people take, investors or markets will react to. Today, the markets in America don't react to what is happening in Syria, but there's no peace in Syria, right?
Yeah.
The markets in America don't react to what is happening in Libya, but there's no peace in Libya. So Russia and Ukraine war, the markets no longer react to it because they found that this is what the situation will be. So today, something Russia and Ukraine war, something is happening, it doesn't really affect the market. It doesn't affect because everybody has realized that these two countries have decided to fight their war in a certain way. So if war in Syria will not, if they say some place has been bombed in Syria, same way if you say Israel and Palestine are bombing each other, people know that this is a long-term what they do. So you see, when you are doing the argument, situate the arguments in the realities that have happened, but not situating the things that will actually support your argument for which reason you think that you can attack somebody. For me, I'll state the facts as they are. The truth of the matter is that there's no country in the world that will say today that the COVID didn't affect its economy. And therefore, the problem of Ghana's economy did not and was not created by Russia-Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine only came to exacerbate what COVID has started doing to every economy. So to create the impression that every problem was blamed on Russia-Ukraine, that is not the fact, as everybody knows in this country or anywhere in the world. So let's be realistic about that. Political promises, that's the problem. Mamadi never gave any explanation to that statement he made on the campaign promise. He said, how can something be happening 7,000 kilometers away be said to be the problem of Ghana? He didn't give any context to it. If he has going to give any context anywhere, not the one on the campaign platform that he said. The video is there. Everybody can go and pick the video and play. The video is there. For everybody should Google the president, what he said on the campaign platform about Russia. He didn't give any context. He asked the question, how can a Ghana's economic problem be blamed on something that is happening 7 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers? I didn't ask him to say that. He said it. And the politicians have been heard what they say. So for you to be trying to justify what the president, that is your justification. But the president never gave us that indication that I'm saying this in the context of A, B, C, D. No. So when people say things, let's be candid and say, the man said it. I am adding my explanation that this is what he might have meant. Then you can add the explanation, but don't come here and be saying the president gave context. If the president gave context, produce the video on that campaign plan where the president gave context to what he said.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you.
So let's be realistic about these things. You can decide to describe people the way you want, but please, you do what is important to you. Allow others also to say what they have said. But if you are not happy with my comment, don't come and be trying to brand people the way you want it. It's not the way to go in terms of analysis and arguments on a program.
Point well made. Ibrahim, let's hear from you. 2 minutes.
Thank you. Elika was talking about the economy. NDC know how to reap, but they don't know how to sow. I mentioned earlier that the Bank of Ghana, I'm using Bank of Ghana's own data, Google right now. So far, over $11 billion. Listen to it all. Sometimes I want to understand the mind of the NDC in things economy. You spend $11 billion to prop up the city. And now you're borrowing 17 billion?
Billion cedis.
Yeah,
to
to pay
pay
salaries.
2025.
Which is
the
around
finance
1.5
minister.
something billion dollars to pay salaries.
That's what the finance minister.
It's like I sell my...
And we spent another 17
coming.
billion
Remember.
to bring inflation down by excess
Naturally,
excess capacity.
Elvis.
Liquidity.
Abotre. Hello, Tie. Both way.
No, I'm just giving you the
No,
more figures.
you're
Additional
cutting me. You're
information.
cutting me.
Oh, okay.
You're
Sorry.
cutting me. I'm flowing. How do you spend 11 billion? And I want Ghanaians to understand this, to prop up the city. And we're practically where we were when it started propping up. Those who want to doubt me, go to any Forex Bureau now. It's around 11.6, 11.7. Okay? At the Forex Bureau, where we consume and change. Not the interbank rate. Don't quote me that. How many of us go to Bank of Ghana and change our dollars?
Yeah.
They changed it at the bureau, 11.6, 11.7. We left it at 14.75. Less than one city something difference. After spending $11 billion, that could have gone on what? Agro-processing, industry, schools, hospitals, education, you name it. It's $1 billion. Where did that $1 billion come from? From the gold. In 2016, when they were exiting, after destroying the economy, our gold reserves were 8.7 tons at the Bank of Ghana, 8.7 tons. By 2024, because of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the gold purchase program, we increased it to 30 tons. Again, I'm quoting Bank of Ghana. Ofane. I'm quoting Bank of Ghana. And I always say, as I'm talking, Mr. Omepamacho Ofane, check and fact check me, and then Google or send the text to Nana to force say, Ibrahim Ajay, that's not correct. Google right now as I'm talking, and then your lines are open. We increased it to 30 tons from 8.7 tons under Mahama, Mahama 1, all the way to 30 tons. And as soon as they came in, they started using the the dollars that we had, when I said the gold, to prop up the city. And I'm like, Miliano. Personally, I think we all want Ghana to succeed. Administrations come and go. Today I'm in this seat, Elikam is here. And we've been in opposite seats before.
Yeah.
But we all want Ghana to grow. So it doesn't matter. Politics is like that. But when the other guy's in your seat, you want the guy to do well. I'll still punch him. Because I know I can do better. Ghana can do better under MPP, under Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. I know that for a fact, and Ghanaians know that.
Very well.
Why is that? The legacy is there. $30 billion worth of gold. Sorry, 30 tons of gold.
Yeah.
Because of one person. I'm not trying to remove anybody out of the equation. There's so many people involved. But one person, a titular person said, let's try this. And he said, when he was at the Moving Pick Hotel, he said, I wished I'd started this earlier. But alhamdulillah, you started it. They said the best time to plant a tree, I'm coming. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
now.
So Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia planted that tree at that moment, increased it to 30 tons, and they came in, started spending, and that's what people say, with all this exchange rate stability, I'm still hungry. No jobs, and they know it. 500,000 people waiting for 5,000 jobs at Ghana Armed Forces. We know the situation. Jobs, no, there's no jobs. Go to Mokola on a Saturday. Everything is just dry. And I want that our ladies in Mokola or Kaneshi to text in. Yeah, confirm what I'm saying. I want that interaction. Sometimes I would want that your producers call people in, as you used to do, beforehand, and get the vox pop, the voice of the people, vox popular, to say what is going on. So we will do our partisan thing. Myself, Elikam, and Elvis, we'll do it. Generally, we'll also put Ghana first. But the people who tell you the reality is the people on the ground.
On the ground.
There's no jobs. People are suffering. Light off is coming. Kadang, kadang, kadang. Are you not feeling the light off? Why is that? Fuel shortage. That's why. And then with all this, you spent $11 billion. And we are where we are. Why won't Ghana go down? Because of John Dramani Mahama.
Very well, very well. Elikam, I'll come to you, but I need to take a break at this point.
Okay.
Let me take a break. I'll come back and then I'll pick your thoughts. But there's a quick message here. It says, "Good morning, Anna. Please tell Elikem that he isn't the first to accuse Elvis of belonging to a party. The NPP labeled him NDC, and now it's the turn of the NDC. Mr. Elvis, please keep speaking the truth." All right. Also send your thoughts in. Keep sending your comments in. We'll take a break here. We'll return. We'll hear from Elikem on this matter, and then we can move on to other matters. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. Stay with us.
I'm ready to give it my all, my talent, dedication, heart, everything for this journey. What's all this?
Welcome to the Breakers.
You need more than a rhythm to survive these phases.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory. With more, because we got you.
You get it?
We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone. With an upgrade on us, just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Are you planning to relocate from your company office or house, whether across cities to another town or halfway around the country? You want a moving company you can depend on to get you there? Let me introduce you to Logistics Movers. We are here to help you every step of the way, from planning the move to unpacking the last box and settling into your office or home. We have the expertise, experience, and market understanding and offer fast, reliable, and professional transportation services in Ghana. Our main thrust is to successfully move your business, household items safely, on time, and hassle-free. You can call us on 0246 833 539 or 0244 342 465. You can also send us an email to info@logisticsmovers.com or check our website www.logisticsmovers.com. Why expose your company or household items to theft or damages when you are relocating if it's avoidable? Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
You're welcome back. You're watching Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're having the news review segment. These messages just came. Oh, they're actually birthday wishes. Okay, let's do it real quick and then we'll continue the conversations. Happy 50th birthday, Madam Rita Ashawa Okain. And may you look back with joy in the years of your life and with hope for those to come. It's from Bismarck. This one says, happy birthday to Mr. Timothy Yakwa. Another year of God's greatness, be blessed, from Bernard Garcia. Okay, thank you very much. Keep sending in your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. We'll do our best to read them on the show. Let me go to Elikem, 2 more minutes to wrap up the conversation on the fuel price.
I think even 2 minutes is too much. And you see, let me put it straight again. I mean, Elvis got it wrong. In the context we were speaking on this platform, we're referencing Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah.
That is why I made the reference to that. It is not to make it look as though the COVID instance was not also mentioned. But in any case, if you are smart enough, you will realize that I did reference IMF. And IMF's reference was directly towards COVID-19. IMF said that we overspent recklessly, and that was why our woes deepened. And so if you, as a practitioner, know better what the IMF said and in relation to what they said, you should have known that it was in reference to COVID and not to Russia-Ukraine war at all. And you see, let me say this again. President Mahama said that, and he said it clearly. There is nowhere under this sun you can stand anywhere and say that Ghana's woes was solely by, let's say, even COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine. And he made reference to Russia-Ukraine. So how can you be saying that our problems under President Akufo-Addo was always by Russia-Ukraine, which was what you were referencing? At convenience, you add COVID-19. At inconvenience, you lift only one. That's what you were doing. So you were... Don't be comparing apples with oranges. In any case, when there's a war in Russia-Ukraine, fortunately, he's defeated himself by referencing the Syria war and all of that. So you do not compare the Russia-Ukraine instance even to Israel, Iran, and America, because the instances are two different things.
I think the comparison he made was with how the market responds now.
Yes.
When the market comes to understand the permanency of the conflict.
That is why I reiterated that imagine that inflation was at where it was under the tenure of their government. Imagine that the cedi was that impotent as it was under their time. Imagine look at all the indices that were almost out of control. What would have been the case? And so if today, my brother is saying that over 500,000 people are applying for jobs, it gives us an appreciation to know how many people are unemployed. During your tenure, you don't even announce it at all. You only found a way to quickly take your people to fill in positions, and then that was it. And so you should commend the government.
No, we announced it.
You should commend the government.
That one,
military recruitment.
Most of these recruitment, they are always
announced.
But the recruitment were done before they were even announced.
No, we always announced.
The recruitments were done before they were even announced.
Recruitments were announced.
We announced. They were announced. The very thing the NCP did, that after they said that those who go into the system, they won't advertise it, they will take them. So now the President Obama also said the same thing, that all those who apply this time, they will no longer be, they will be put in the system and be recruited. So the very thing they condemn MPP for. It's the same thing President Obama said that recruitment.
So my point is that, look, it is true that if you want to blame your economic hardship solely on something happening 7,000 miles away from you, then that is failed leadership. You can say that it is a contributing factor. And I mean, the reckless spending and wanton corruption was a major player in terms of the hardship that were imposed on Ghanaians. Right. And we all knew it. And that is why I don't see the need to necessarily be rebutting everything that is being said, because the Ghanaian out there who is watching is discerning. Anybody who is watching and listening to a program is discerning enough to understand that some of these things happening are as a result of this. And that's why I referenced to you. In November 2022, when Ghanaians were calling for price reductions, what did President Akufo-Addo say? Just like he talks rubbishly to the chiefs, he again said, let me give you an example. President Akufo-Addo asked a chief to get out.
Let's mind them.
No. Well, you can ask them here if what I said is wrong. Did President Akufo-Addo not ask a chief to get up to greet him? Did he not say that if a chief wants development, he should go and commission complete a project by himself? You think that is not the height of disrespect to our traditional authorities? These are things that contributed. For instance, do you think I should sit here and say today that the reason the MPP lost election was because of Russia-Ukraine, or it is because of John Mahama? It's because of a plethora of things, and those are all what constitute that. If they didn't know, the arrogance with power, the way even their president spoke to our traditional authorities with disdain, The way they themselves were gesticulating around and not taking in the views of people, how they became so corrupt and would not listen to anybody. These are things you can go out there if you want to have an independent survey to ascertain what caused it. I will tell you that a lot of reasons will be associated with why they lost the elections, and those are just some of the few that I'm telling you.
Let's move on to other
Let me make
matters.
this. Elikem, when NPP left office, inflation was 23%. CD was 14.7 cedis. Okay. Yet, with these high prices, fuel was 16 cedis for petrol, right? That NDC took over. And diesel was 17. So today, we have inflation at 3.2%. To 3.2. And the CD is around 11. Yet, petrol is 14 cedis. And diesel is 17.9. So the question I want to ask is that if currently we have inflation at 23% and CD at 14.7, it means they'll be selling fuel to us for 30 cedis. Because if somebody with 23% inflation, with CD at 14.7, sold petrol for 16, and diesel for 17, and you have inflation at 3.2%, and CD at 11, and you are selling petrol for 14, and you are selling diesel for 17.9, then clearly you are telling us that if you had those figures, the high inflation and the high exchange rate, then means that you would have been selling fuel to us at a higher price.
But they brought it down from there.
No, that's what I'm saying. That he is saying that the previous government didn't.
And at the time,
no, I am just giving you. Please, I'm giving you two comparisons. That I'm using economic indicators. I'm not going to Russia and Ukraine. I'm saying that economic indicators and against inflation and the CD. Okay, that's why. And I'm giving the two comparisons that at the time it was at 23, and then 14.7.
Yeah.
Fuel as of December.
Inflation and exchange rate respectively.
This was the price of fuel. Now that inflation is 3.2%,
and CD is
around 11. The price fuel is being sold now. It meant that if we had those high inflation and high exchange rate, then it means that we should be paying more for fuel than we are paying by now. So if you say that when we make an argument that there's low inflation, yet fuel price, it doesn't understand.
We're spending too much time on this. But let him answer and then we'll move on.
That's what it means.
You see, what he has said is exactly the case. That is exactly the case. If inflation should rise above the 23% that you left it, and the exchange was above the 14, it meant the price will go up. That is why it takes a certain leadership of boldness to be able to beat this down. And that is why today you and I feel quotient. So if, for instance, it was at 23 and has now dropped to 3.2, if it begins to rise, even at that 3.2 and eventually goes up, it meant that prices will rise again. But it meant also that
who managed better? Who managed better?
The person who has bought it to 3.2 is managing better because
the person was giving us fuel at that price of 23% inflation and 16 cedis for the exchange rate. And then you are having 3.2% inflation and 11 cedis for it.
So his price of fuel should have been lower.
That means that they should be selling fuel far lower than what they are selling to. That's the argument I'm making to him. Now if he's making argument of
a little thing.
Let's make progress.
Let me give you a little explanation to this, which either Elvis is doing it deliberately or he just is it's myopia. Now, if inflation was at 23%, what it meant that at the status quo when you can buy this in at 20 cedis, and we say inflation has dropped to 3%, it doesn't mean that the price of this thing is dropping. If you ever did a little bit of economics anywhere in the four walls of a classroom, when they say it is 3%, it meant that this thing that cost 20% is now going to rise by 3%.
So it means that
you get it.
Almost 20% drop of inflation has no impact on the price of the product.
So the reason why you have made gains is because of the potency of your currency, which has dropped. And that is what has resulted even in the price dropping.
Between 23% and 3%, that's an almost 20%.
Good. So it tells you that
reflective on the pricing.
So let me use this. So let me use the figures so maybe our viewers can answer. So if this was 100 cedis, and it was rising at 23%, it meant the next time you were going to buy it, maybe next month, it would have sold at 123
cedis.
Now, if you are going to buy it, it will be selling at 103.
Yes.
So you see the benchmark of the 100 is still there.
You saw the rate
So the
increase in
definition
pricing.
of inflation is not to mean a deflation.
No.
There's a difference between inflation and deflation.
Yes.
So when we say inflation, it's only telling you that the rate at which prices increase is now lower.
Yes, you've slowed the rate of increase.
Now, the icing on the cake is that while that inflation has been brought to a single digit, the city has also gained potency.
Indeed.
And that is what has allowed it to even drop from the 14 to where it was, which is why it even dropped to a single digit at a point in time.
So let's use the only city argument. City at 11, you are selling petrol at 14 cities. And a city at 16, petrol was also 16 cities.
No.
So you are 16 cities.
So you can't use only that because, you see...
But you are the inflation.
Let's make
argument.
There are variables
to take all of
so that giving a drop in the city to
always understand better one issue than another.
Thank you.
Look, there are variables involved when it comes to fuel pricing or the standard of economy. So you cannot say that you want to take only inflation separately and you want to take exchange rate separately. No.
Very well.
That is why I'm telling you both.
And you said no, you are giving different.
No, I never said no. I did mention to you that this was inflation. This definition.
So he admits
the
that.
icing on
He
the
admits
cake.
that if the inflation was 23% and CD is 14.7, he admits that we would have been paying far higher.
Yes.
So it means that they would have been charging us more higher than what we were
But that
paying.
is the reality of what
it means that we would be charging us more higher than what we were paying.
If you
before
had,
they came to power.
if you had evidence of when the price and inflation was at 23 and 14%, that the price of fuel at that time was lower than it is now, then you are justified to be saying what you are saying. And the President Akufo-Addo in Bawumia, when it was 23% inflation and 14 cities to the dollar, was the price of fuel then lower than it is today? No. So until you are able to prove
the
to me,
difference in the two
right,
prices
gentlemen, thank you.
That is why I'm telling you that the difference is telling you the rate
The
of
difference is
increase.
telling you that we are paying more for fuel than before.
No,
There's a huge gap in the achievement.
Thank you.
Yet the difference between
Thank
the
you.
prices
Let's
is
move on.
not-
Let's move on.
You see,
Let's move
that
on.
is why I'm saying inflation tells you that, for instance, if going by the, if going by all things being
I think the explanation
what
has
it
been
meant
given.
was that even the fuel which was probably selling at 23 should have actually been now 23.1, 23.2, rising at a lower rate.
Thank you.
But because of the potency of the currency and the efficient management of the economy,
Thank you.
it
Thank
took
you,
it down
Thank you,
before the rise now as a shock.
Ibrahim, a U.S. court has ordered that Sadina Tamaklu Ationu be extradited back home. What is expected to happen after this court ruling?
I thought you were going to do the LGBTQ thing.
We will do the LGBT.
We have 20 minutes left.
So make the
Do this for 1 minute.
Your question.
Yes.
Your question.
What happens next?
She comes to Ghana, she puts in jail. Agbena.
That's it.
Next
You want to
topic.
see her in jail?
No.
Why? Who even talk
no.
the next topic?
Sure. No, it's important. No, I'll answer the question.
Elikep.
I'll answer the question.
All right. Let's
You
do
know,
so briefly.
when you entrust a responsibility to a government official, a public servant, that person has a duty to execute that mandate honestly and responsibly. And unfortunately, you get it across parties, across administrations. There are some individuals who will cheat Ghana for their personal gain. And nobody should use political language to defend when it's happening. Because the person is suffering. 90 million cedis. Check the exchange rate at the time. Then you bring it into dollars. Money laundering, corruption, thievery. I'm talking Sednam and Deputy Daniel Aksim. So the law must work. She was found guilty in abstention. She ran away. Now she's been caught in Nevada. Now extradition will come. When she comes, straight to jail.
Very well. Elikep.
Yeah.
She also has some responsibility in the space of accountability.
I believe she does. And if you recall, on this very platform, I was sitting here when we had that conversation, and my position has not changed from that. And even off camera, I was just telling you the same thing, that I believe that anybody who holds a public office and actually fails to be accountable and responsible or pay attention to due diligence will be held responsible for that kind of negligence at any point in time. It's unfortunate she's a member of my party. But however, the law remains the law. And so if something is done of that nature and the district court has now certified the extradition, it means that she will need to come and serve her term in Ghana. It is the same way I expect that Just as the NPP will fly all over rooftops and say that, yeah, that is to tell you that, I mean,
Ofori-Atta.
what is good for the goose is
Equally
definitely
good for the gander, right?
We cannot be hypocritical, cherry picking us and when it favors us. I still maintain here, by my simple understanding of criminality, that Ken Ofori-Atta is a criminal that must be brought to book to answer questions on how he handled this economy over, probably, if I'm not mistaken, he's the longest serving finance minister, clad in white, quoting Bible verses. But when he was in ICE detention, never did I hear him quote a single Bible verse.
Did you hear him speak from
Oh, well, yeah, so he never even had a chance
You didn't hear him
Maybe
speak,
even he was even he was rather wearing the nose mask. And you see, so it became evident that he only found us to be very gullible and vulnerable to be quoting Bible verses to us as if he was the only one who believed in the white Jesus more than any other person in Africa.
Very well.
And so he Sedinam would be, I mean, it's obvious now that so the next thing is to be brought to the country. I don't know what the law says, if there's an appeal or whatever. I don't know at all.
Appeal.
There's nothing like that. So she would have, processes will have to be initiated for her to be brought down. And I pray that there will not be any massaging of velvet gloves for the case of Ken Ofori-Atta to be brought here and trust the system to also make sure he goes through the same process.
Very well. Thank you. Elvis, Sedina Tamaklu Ationu.
Well, actually, I've always said public money belongs to all of us. So if somebody uses public money for his or her personal gain, definitely the state must collect the money back. And I don't know whether if she comes, we are all going after the money itself. Because the money is what we need. The person staying in prison is important. But for me, if the person goes to prison and the 90 million never comes back, we have still lost the money.
Yeah.
So for me, I think we should trace the money, whether we can get it. Her coming down, the judge said there's evidence to prove that she committed an offense.
Right.
Because there is a judgment.
Right.
That's why the judge is extraditing her. But for me, fears are being expressed, and I also want to add my voice that the person she was convicted with and is serving in Samam has now been released on bail and it's home. That he has filed some appeal, and based on that appeal, the gentleman has been released from prison and is sitting at home. I just hope and pray that that will not be the situation when Sedinam comes, that she will be in his home for 2 or 3 months. They will say appeal has been filed and she will be released. I don't think, I hope that that will not be the situation that we'll face. And as I said, for me, we want the money. And this is where I want the AG and the OSP to also take a cue. That the judge made a significant statement that there is evidence to prove that Sedinam has been found guilty of an offense. That is why he is ordering for her extradition. Ofori-Atta has not been found of anything yet. It's all about accusations. So if really AG and OSP are serious, my advice, and I've always insisted, is for them to go to court. And then if they secure conviction and they want Ofori-Atta to be extradited, I believe that will be faster. But in this situation where conviction has not happened yet, they should take a cue from the pronouncement of the judge on Sedinam's case that there's enough proof
evidence
that she's been found guilty of an offense, and that is why he's ordering for her extradition.
Let's move on to Ibrahim's anticipated subject.
Just a quick one just a quick one.
Briefly.
You see, it is true that Ken Ofori-Atta has not been tried or there's not been a judgment. But it is very obvious to every Ghanaian who is watching that he's evading even the process. He doesn't even want to be accountable.
Which is fine.
Which is
fine.
Which is not fine.
No, I'm saying it's fine because
minus
and we've not ruled out
minus
that.
a judgment, it makes it a big difficult for a judge sitting in the US to grant the extradition request. That's the point Elvis was trying to make.
I'm not saying we take a cue from the judge.
I agree.
Yeah, so let's secure judgment against Ofori-Atta, and then the processes are
if care
easier,
is not
faster.
taken, what becomes the convenient thing to now do by the Ghanaian or the African is that commit the crime and
run away.
when you're about
to
run away and then prolong all this process. I have not disputed what he's saying.
I want us to go to the next topic. What Elvis is saying is on point. You have evidence. I'm talking OSP.
Yeah.
Bring it to court.
Try him in absentia.
When Sedinam ran away, we took an NPP, we took the matter through the court. So it tells you what is preventing the NDC from starting the court process.
NDC. Say the OSP and the
OSP. Yeah, but
this thing is not about that money is not for NDC or NPP.
I'm corrected. What's stopping the OSP from initiating court processes? When we sat on this program a year ago, and I said, why don't you do Ken Ofori-Atta's law? I said, look, we can do visual, what do you call it?
The interrogation.
Yeah. What's the word
you
for it?
know,
online
virtual,
interviews.
virtual.
Thank you, Elikem. Up to date, OSP has not done that. And I bet
But do you
They
need
want
that?
him in person.
Do you
They
even
want
need
him
that
in
where the
person.
man has a team of lawyers
You see,
representing
You see,
him?
there are two things.
But
we
let's get
also
to
need
the
know.
next subject. It's
There are two
important.
things we also need to know.
We have 10
When
minutes
when
left.
it comes to even the OSP, the OSP can only investigate matters of corruption and corruption related.
Related offences, yeah.
And matters that are involving Ken Ofori-Atta are not only corruption and corruption related.
So
But
let's
take out the
However-
corruption bit. Take out the
The
corruption
aspect
bit.
he
However-
said is
Yes,
granted
yes.
without a
However,
All the
how-
70,
however-
how many
78
charges?
charges.
78
however,
charges.
you know my position when it comes to this OSP. You, the same MPP people, presented us with somebody who is only now interested in moving around with about 10 or 15 bodyguards all over. He has a double in another vehicle and all that. And he seemed to just be, look, I have my
Very well,
positions.
very well, thank you. Anti-LGBTQ, Ibrahim.
What's your question?
The question is
You want-
that the president
They
says
are
it's
leaving
not
it blank for
priority.
you.
Now the clergy have come back saying the debate on it is as
Please,
important as
clergy
well.
be specific. The
No,
Catholic Bishops
Conference.
Conference. Please.
Catholic Bishops
Some of the
Conference.
clergy have become mute.
Yeah.
Now,
all of a sudden.
yes, all of them have become mute.
Really?
Thank you.
Ibrahim, briefly.
I'm happy that the Catholic bishops have come out.
Yes,
I
yes,
think only because of pressure from civil society.
You want to know?
This issue, I heard John Dramani Mahama, the president, saying that they have other priorities. What is the major priority for any country? It's your family. Your family is the base of anything. Before you start talking about energy, industrialization, exchange rate, whatever, if the family is not intact, I'm talking about our human values, where homosexuality can unravel that fabric of societal integrity. How can you, John Dramani Mahama, tell us there's other priorities? It's not a priority. Because you are, in fact, allowing the future of our young men and women, because you have Supi as well, not just the homosexuals, to be, if you will, corrupted by this canker. It's not a canker, it's something that has been with us from time. The fact that it's been with us, and across religions, it tells you that Adam should not lie, what was it? Adam should lie with Eve, not Steve, am I right? Likewise in Islam. So why do we allow third parties, and I'm talking the West, using economic threats that if you don't allow freedom of this particular activity, we will hold financing?
You know this?
What do I know this? It's there. What is it? Do I know this? Sometimes I know you're provoking the question. I know you're provoking the question, but it's there. Why do I say so? It's there.
Please make sure there is appropriate time for all of us.
They will quickly cite. I'm talking the West.
Yeah.
European countries. They will cite human rights abuses as a means for withholding, let's say, funding. Do they do the same thing to Saudi Arabia, where homosexuality is banned, where you can go to prison? Do they do the same thing with Kuwait, where homosexuality is banned? So I'm saying this to President John Dramani Mahama specifically, and Africa-wide. Because of these chicken change donor funds, you want to somehow allow your family units to be corrupted? You know bestiality, what's bestiality? Sex with animals. Do you know when it was banned in Netherlands? 2010. Banned though. Up until then, you can have sex with dogs in the Netherlands. Likewise in Sweden. I'm using dogs, but any other animal. Bestiality. 2010, they banned it. So if the Europeans say, we like bestiality, Ghana on our statute book said, no, if you do bestiality, forget it.
Yeah.
You go to prison for it. We didn't just invent it, it's been on our books. Sex with animals is forbidden in Ghana.
Right.
My point is this.
Make that
If
point
the
so
European countries
I can move on.
said, oh, Charlie, what you're doing is wrong, oh. You should allow sex with animals. Otherwise, we're removing IMF funding. Which leader in this Ghana or Africa would allow it? Something that is immoral, against God. Why do you allow chicken change to somehow handcuff you, and then you kick the can down the road and tell us that it's not a priority, John Dramani Mahama? And I'm happy that Abang Bagbin said he is a man of his word.
It's an action man.
He's an action man. He will make sure
Very well.
that the bill is
Very well.
passed.
Thank you.
But who's the president? John
Dramani
Mahama. John Mahama needs to answer that point.
He will sign it. He says he will sign it, but for now it's not priority.
I pray so.
Very well. Elikem.
You know, I don't know what the fuss about this is, but I understand because every comment of the president, who is the first gentleman of the land, needs to be scrutinized very well. President Mahama said this is not priority. Unlike our friends on the other side, when the president speaks, we don't need to even translate. He's made it very clear. As we speak now, has that bill been brought? Has it been transmitted? Has it gone to parliament, let alone be sent to him as president?
It hasn't been passed yet.
So the priorities are with the parliament, and that has gone there in whichever. I think 2 weeks or so ago, he signed 5 bills into law. And President Mahama has made it clear. Let me refresh the memory of our listeners and our viewers. President Donald John Trump, the American president, frowns on LGBT. He has said it clearly that in this world, you are born, your sex is determined at birth, and you are either born male or female. Correct. And he has demonstrated that. If America of all at this point in time has a government that also frowns on LGBT in the name of the President of the United States, I mean, what fear is there to be entertained by any other African country? When even Burkina Faso is already taking the lead, Senegal is also doing the same, and many others. You see, my unfortunate submission is that the MPP doesn't know what is called strategy. They think because there's no scandal, there's nothing to lash onto, then let's hold him by this. It's okay anyways. But very soon, when that goes through the processes, get through parliament and is transmitted to the president, you will have him sign.
You believe he will sign?
I believe he will sign.
You believe he will sign?
Yes.
Very
Unlike, unfortunately, I'm surprised my brother is having a voice so much on this now. At the time, we had a president who was telling us the energy was not there, and he demonstrated everywhere.
This time it was hit by court cases. He had to go
on that issue.
But that court case, do you recall that even the president talked about the court case before the court case was filed?
You know, Article,
do you remember that?
Let me hear from you.
Our time is right. On Article 106 of the Constitution, the president must either do 2 things, sign or veto with reasons. So he had no reason to not accept the bill. So on that one, Akufo-Addo was wrong.
Very well, very well.
Okay, thank
very
you.
well, very well.
Thank you. I
Elvis,
hope President Akufo-Addo heard this.
Quick thoughts on this.
Well, I doubt if President Mahama is going to sign any bill of that sort. President Mahama has flip-flopped on this topic. On the campaign platform, he said he will sign it once the bill is available. He won the election. Before this one, BBC interviewed him. When the bill came, he said he didn't know the contents of the bill. That's what he told the BBC. Before he was sworn into office. He was sworn into where the Catholic bishops went to pay a first visit. He said the bill, is not necessary. There's no need for a law. There should be education. People should be educated on the matter. But if it even has to be passed, he would prefer that it goes to the Attorney General for it to be worked on.
Government sponsored.
Before it's signed. The same position Akufo-Addo took, that the bill must go to the AG before he will sign it. President Mahama is giving it the same reason.
No.
The same thing. No. That's what he told the Catholic Bishop Conference, that he would prefer that the bill goes through the Attorney General before he signs. So condemning Akufo-Addo for saying the same thing, you are not giving it the same reason.
That's
what
Akufo-Addo's office wrote to Parliament not to
I'm saying that one of the reasons Akufo-Addo didn't sign.
Akufo-Addo even wrote to Parliament not to transmit. It's a document.
I understand. What are you saying? I'm saying one of the reasons. I didn't say he didn't say that.
Yes.
I'm saying one of the reasons Akufo-Addo also gave was that unless you go to
you didn't say one of the reasons. Play back the tape. He said the reason Akufo-Addo gave.
One of the reasons. Okay, thank you for putting. One of the reasons is that unless you go to the Attorney General Department, President Mahama is giving it the same reason. That he would prefer that it goes to the Attorney General Department before he will sign.
Both of which are unconstitutional.
Now he says it is not a priority. That's the new one, that it is not a priority. So look at the position of the president on the same issue from campaign to winning election to visit up to this place. So clearly...
So you don't think he will sign it?
He keeps playing a discord. He keeps playing a discord when it comes to the LGBT. But I mean, I am of the view that the only reason we are not signing is economy. And that the America he talked about, he said they won't give us a peso. Last year they didn't give us a peso. All the money we are getting to do roads and all the projects, they are all from European countries. And all the European countries have made it clear that any attempt to sign that law, we shouldn't expect anything from them. And looking at the fragile economy, we are scared to lose European money.
Thank you, Brian.
So I don't see him signing that bill.
This has been the news review segment here on Breakfast Day.
And then leave it for the next president to come and solve.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so by a man swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Enjoy full HD and 4K Ultra display for clearer pictures, brighter colors, and smarter features. From our 32-inch screen, perfect for your bedroom, to 55, 65, and massive 100 inches for your living room or office. We've got the perfect size and quality. For retailing and bulk purchasing, call the numbers on the screen or visit our website at www.francotrading.com. You can download the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Franco Television, we've got the perfect size for every room. Franco, home of quality television.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
No power. Another year is here. A new beginning. A fresh opportunity to draw closer to God and to one another. This family month, your family radio station, 97.3 CDFM, invites you and your loved ones to something truly special. The 2026 Family Consecration Service, a sacred gathering where families come together in prayer, faith, and unity. It's a moment to dedicate your home to God's loving care, to seek His protection, His guidance, and His peace over every household. Come and experience divine connection as we pray for strength, restoration, unity, and direction for our families. Married couples will also have the opportunity to renew their vows, reaffirming love, commitment, and purpose. The date is Friday, the 1st of May, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel, Accra. Bring your entire family and come expectant. And let's commit our homes into God's hands. 2026 Family Consecration Service is powered by 97.3 CDFM with support from Channel 1 TV, because the family that prays together stays together.
Calls me home in the power for Christ the solid.
Daily right here on Channel 1 TV, and once more you are welcome. As you all know, Nana Tufo Boateng started the show with his panel as they hit some topics that are actually shaping the country when it comes to politics. My name is Chris Carter.
My name is Philip Nilati. The latter part of Nana Tufo's show, you could see that Elvis wanted to make a statement.
Yeah, he had to make that statement.
So Nana Tufo Boateng was signing out,
and
but
he
Elvis
was still making his
a statement in there. That's an interesting one. So we are continuing from here, like what Chris said, and I'm sure that you enjoyed your weekend. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good.
It was
restful.
good? Oh, you rested?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
I told you that I really don't play my rest these days.
Why is that something you've been told about rest that you are not telling our viewers? Maybe let's share with our viewers. So what is it you've been told about resting that you are not telling us? Because I know you really like things like health when it comes to issues around health and all that. What is it?
I just think it's very important because we, like I said on Friday, we live in a society that is spoiling. You have to do it now, you know, and sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on you and the body. And when this pressure is on you and the body, you don't even realize when your health is deteriorating. So, and look, I am not in a position to want to be in the hospital anytime soon.
Wow.
So I feel like it's important for me to rest. And also when I speak to my dad is way older than me. He says, when you're tired, you rest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I don't play with it.
Your rest is very important for you.
Very, very important.
Anyway.
Because, no, and you should also remember that we actually come to work very early.
Yeah.
And by the time you realize time has passed, even though you're saying, oh, I'm going to rest, you will find yourself doing other things. You'll find yourself being a mommy. You'll find yourself being a sister. You'll find yourself helping someone or something. You'll find yourself going about other businesses. And by the time you realize, you've done more than 8 hours.
Okay, that's fine.
You understand?
So
I feel like I need to accumulate all my rest that I did not rest throughout Monday to Friday. I do it Saturday and Sunday.
So you don't go for events? You don't go for social events?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Sometimes. Okay.
I choose. Okay. I'm a very picky person when it comes to events.
Okay.
Yeah, so I choose and pick where I want to be. But I have to accumulate all those hours of sleep that I didn't have 8 hours. If I didn't have 8 hours from Monday to Friday.
It is carry forward.
Oh, I have to accumulate all of them.
So that's it for Chris. So on that resting note, let's bring you what we've been asking you to join. That is the Seasons of Prayer. It started from in the month of April, from 1st of April to 30th of April is when this particular program is going to run, and it's an interesting one. You have to join. Yes, it's just 1 hour because we have you in mind that you need to rest, so we don't go beyond an hour. So midnight cry, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. and this is your day, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then prayer encounter, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So you can also join on Facebook. And if you get the link, please share. You can call 0244981112 for more information about the Seasons of Prayer.
All right, and after that, in the month of May, that's the first day of the month of May, we are heading to the family consecration service at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel here in Accra, and it's a yearly gathering of prayer that we all come together under one roof to pray to God, get inspired, renew our vows, and even find forgiveness and all that in the house of God. So if you are a family or belong to a family, all you need to do is, come on that day, bring everyone, the children, the grandma, the grandpa, the husband, the wife, the sisters, the brothers. Everyone should all be there at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel here in Accra on Friday, the 1st May 2026, 6 a.m. to 12 noon. And it's all about the family consecration service. This is brought to you by City 97.3 FM, supported by Channel 1 TV.
And of course, have you watched The Blanksons yet? If yes, that's a good one. If no, then please, you're missing out because it's a family drama series. It's The Blanksons and showing every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. There are repeats, Tuesdays, and we also have some on Saturdays and also on Sundays, rather, and also on Fridays. So Tuesdays at 3 p.m., Fridays at 11:30 a.m., and Sundays at 4:30 p.m. So make sure that you are watching The Blanksons. We actually did this for you so that you'll be able to relax, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And in the way you are supposed to play is that you are supposed to watch something. Relax. I saw a pastor someone say, relax you, relax it. So you like have to relax. So soon you'll be in the feast stage. And I like the fact that you are resting. I really like the fact that she's resting. So in order for you to really relax, make sure that you're relaxing with The Blanksons, which is very important. So please, at 7:30 on Thursdays, watch The Blanksons. And we want to say a very big thank you to NASCO, to Lizzie Shito, to Out Mosquito Spray, and also Everpack. Yeah.
All right, and remember that the Channel 1 News app is live. If you want to stay updated to all the news item and information that we have for you out there, especially if you want real, authentic news, this is where you should be. That's the Channel 1 News online app. All you need to do is head to Google Play Store and you can download it. So if you have internet connection anywhere in the world, you can actually access any news and information from Ghana and beyond via the Channel 1 News online app. So what are you waiting for? Head to Google Play Store right now, download it, and it will be on your phone and your tablets.
And this one, that is a Eat Ghana Rice campaign. This is something we are doing to push what we have here in the country. So Eat Ghana, Build Ghana. Eat fresh, Eat Ghana, build the future. And fresh from our farms to your plate. In partnership, we are doing this in partnership with Agri Impact Limited, MasterCard Foundation, 24-Hour Economy. And this, of course, is championed by City 97.3 FM and Channel 1 TV. Please, if you go out there, we keep saying, buy locally manufactured rice so that you help the farmers, because you have to let your meal make a difference. Choose Ghana first. So please join us and support this particular project that we are doing here on Channel 1 TV and City 97.3 FM.
All right, and lastly, for the family, the Wonder Space Show is back. Season 2 of the Wonder Space Show with Miss Natalie is back, and this is a perfect family show where everybody can sit together and learn together happily. So it's very beneficial for the parents and for the kids, because you don't just get inspired, you actually get to learn a lot. I know you go to school and all that, but with the Wonder Space Show, you can learn more and immerse yourself into all the experiences that Miss Natalie brings to you right here on the show. So make a date with us right here on Channel 1 TV every Saturday at 12. And it's all about the Wonder Space Show.
Of course. So, and now that we are done with the promos, I want to move straight into our trends. I don't know why some Ghanaians just do not understand the fact that, hold on. You see, we all agreed that things are tough, and the fact that we would have to get, what's the name, pure water, bag of sachet water, move high. But now the Trades Ministry has come and said that, you know what, hold on, we will rectify and address the situation. But yeah, last week and even over the weekend,
people are still
selling it for 13 Ghana cedis, for 12 Ghana cedis, for 11 Ghana cedis, when we know that the bag, when you are buying from a vendor, should be around 10 Ghana cedis. This is part of the trends that we are looking at today. So vendors in part of Ghana, including people or students around the Accra Technical University, they have bemoaned the hike that now sachet water, people are selling it from 50 pesos to 1 Ghana cedis. Maybe we need to really follow up on this. Blaming the hassle of handling 20 peso coin and forcing buyers to round up. So
okay, now it's not about the it's not about the Iran war now. So it's about the hustle of the 20 Ghana.
Yes. And you know, the BOG has come out to say that do not reject the smaller notes or smaller denominations. I've seen people who say, I don't take 20 pesos, I don't take 10 pesos, I don't take 5 pesos. Why? Is it not part of the legal tender of this country? Are we not supposed to use it again? Because I know when you go to the mall, you are buying something and is being charged 12.99 pesos, and you are done and they give you 1 peso.
Yeah.
So if you don't want us to spend it again, take it out of the system.
No, but you see, it's not the government or BOG telling us that they don't want us to spend it again. In fact, they want us to spend it. That is why it's still in the system. So it's about trying to find ways to curb this behavior of not wanting coins. So at the end of the day, I feel like those who refuse to take the coins should all be reported.
Yes, well, because what
because
happens
that means
is that
you're also like at the end of the day you're also saying that shouldn't be that illegal tender. Do you understand?
And you are adding up to the price margin, so you are increasing the amount you are supposed to pay for a particular item, and people are seeing this more with the pure water. I don't know whether the pure water vendors are trying to find ways and means to get their money in there because they know that the increment has happened and the Trades Ministry says that don't do it, and maybe they are going ahead to do it. So that's one of the things you are looking at in the trends today because it's actually making rounds. But I'm sure there are comments on this that we will bring to you. So this one says, so why are you insisting on increasing it despite the minister's directive and pending decrease in fuel prices? Raidi, them increase sachet water in price. Sachet water, what is wrong with some people in this country? Government says don't increase, they still increase. I still blame the government because the system is broken. Or bulletins. They need to start arresting people for refusing a legal tender, and this is very true. When you go and talk, people will say that you are doing too low. But anyway, I bought 3 for 2 Ghana cedis yesterday. So you bought 3 sachet water for 2 Ghana cedis. I still remember the outage and chaos when the price jumped to 50 pesos. The outrage, yes. We just talked and did nothing. Now they are taking it to 1 cedi. How much does bottled water cost serve? We are our own enemies. Well, Ghanaians, there, some of us will take every opportunity that comes into our hands to just make more money, abnormal profit. What then happens to these these same traders? Wake up and
if they
wake up and decide not to accept the 50 pesos.
Exactly.
BOG, who is the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Police Service, should act now. This is getting out of hand. These greedy traders must be arrested. Well, if you've seen one in a particular area, please, you can report so that you see what can be done about it. So this is coming from Kali J. It says, as this thing, then government go open pure water factory like 30. They sell water for 50 pesos. Make we all buy that one. Pure water machines serve beer here. Nobody go tell them to reduce the price. Them now go reduce. So now you're asking that the government should set up a pure water or sachet water factory and the prices should be subsidized. Well, he's going to get them to sit down, though, but we don't know. Please do the right thing. You are not supposed to increase the prices. do not increase the prices, because as soon as you increase the price, you are now someone who is supposed to consume maybe 8. Ideally, I understand the doctors are saying that we should consume 8.
Yeah.
Is that it? 8 sachet a day?
Yeah.
Okay. So 8, 1 Ghana cedi by 8 should be 8 cedis.
That's for
in
water
addition to the food you buy for lunch or for
breakfast,
supper.
lunch, supper.
But in this economy, you can't do 111.
Some people
You are either doing 100 or 010 or 110.
Yeah.
So you are either forfeiting breakfast and you get lunch.
So what do you do?
Me, anything goes. Me, I don't have 111. I don't have 000. I don't. Anything goes. If I have money in my pocket, I can go 5 once. If I have money in my pocket, I can go 6 once. If I have no money in my pocket, I can go 000. So me, I don't. But people are going 010. So the morning they will not eat.
I do 010.
The afternoon they'll get gobe and plantain, and maybe I know people who also put the gobe on the sun for it to actually dry.
Wow.
And they call the rest jinsio. Some people also go in for
001
banku and cutting quine with tuna inside. Then the rest is water. And now that even with the food a day, you are taking about say 30 to 40 Ghana cedis food, because even if you have 20 Ghana cedis and you want kenke and fish, it should be around 15, 20 Ghana cedis, because you buy kenke 5 Ghana cedis and you buy fish 10 Ghana cedis. And you are now buying water that you are supposed to drink in a day. You are buying it for 8 Ghana cedis. Because 8, no, please don't increase the prices at all. Do what is right. And also the regulators, please check it for us.
Yeah, but you see,
Yes.
the thing is, just like I said on Friday, I feel like they were too quick in coming out. Those in charge were too quick in coming out to say that, look, we might actually increase this, because people have the attitude of, whenever they hear things like this, although it hasn't been implemented yet, in their head, it's like, it's implemented.
Oh, but you don't.
So,
when it comes to these things,
it should have been set out so quickly. It should have. They should have consulted, just like, or they should have told the government, this is what we plan to do.
Okay.
And they should have had that talk in, before coming out to say, this is what it is.
Agreed, but these kind of things too, you also look at the fact that you would have to make your statement, because sometimes you want to take an action. The government is saying that hold on this particular action. For instance, we know that when it comes to news, certain things you'd want to do is either you are bringing out a press statement or you are doing a press conference or something to push the government to do something.
Yeah.
You understand? And in their mind, we know that, okay, fine, as part of the measures you want to put in place is to bring out a press statement that indicates that there's going to be an increment.
Yeah.
And once there is an increment and there is a public backlash, then the government will take action.
Right.
And which the government has taken action.
Yeah.
So if the government has taken action...
So the government has taken action,
Yes.
but it is not working, because I don't think the action has trickled down to the people.
Chris, it's our life. People are ready. See, whether the prices is even low, people are just ready to increase the prices at any time.
Because it reminds me of COVID.
People are just
the same
greedy.
thing happened during the pandemic.
People are
where
just greedy.
It just came out to say, you know what, there's going to be shortage of some things, or maybe this is going to affect food and everything. Everybody
That's
just
it.
woke up. You have to buy 1 tomato for 5 cedis.
So people are just greedy. We will just, the little opportunity, we want to milk the general public. And that is it. Because once there is demand, there is demand, high demand will definitely bring you increasing the prices. You understand? And the supply is not that much, even though the supply will be that high. Once there is high demand, people will now say, okay, fine. Once there is high demand there, then let me just increase the price. And that is what people are doing. So I think that the unions or the associations should speak to their members. Please do the needful, because Ghanaians are already suffering.
Is it everybody that is in the union?
Oh, once you are, I think that there should be a body that
because
can.
the woman that will sell water in my area
will not be in a union.
I don't think she'll be in a union. She's just doing her own thing just to feed her 5 children, and then that's it.
Then if you see that somebody is actually selling it at that exorbitant price, reject it and buy it elsewhere. Just buy it elsewhere. Once you reject it, that's it. Anyway, so after that one, let's bring you this sad one. That has to do with Brecum Chelsea player, Dominic Frimpong. A very, very sad story. He died from a gunshot wound in a robbery incident which happened yesterday. This is a very sad one, and we just want to call for the security agencies to get involved in terms of investigation. So Ghanaian football has been thrown into a state of mourning following the death of Dominic Frimpong, a footballer of Brecum Chelsea, who succumbed to gunshot wounds sustained during a robbery attack on the team's bus. The incident occurred along the Gosu Bibiani Road near Ahnoaso in the Ahafo region when armed men reportedly blocked the road and opened fire on the team's vehicle. Players and officials were forced to flee into nearby bushes to seek safety. The club has confirmed that Frimpong suffered critical gunshot wounds to the head and was rushed to the Bibiani Government Hospital, where he received emergency treatment. He was being prepared for transfer to a higher level facility when he passed away. The player had joined Brecum Chelsea on loan from Aduana FC in January in a deal set to run until the end of 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League season. Frimpong had been one of the emerging talents in the squad, making 13 league appearances and scoring 2 goals during the current campaign. His performances had ranked him out as a promising figure for the club before his untimely death, EPL team just says. And also this one comes in with the fact that the incident has set shockwaves through the Ghana football community, raising serious concerns about the safety of teams traveling across the country. Authorities are expected to intensify investigations in the attack. Well, this is a very sad one. I want to say our condolences goes out to the bereaved family and also the team as well. This, we understand, is not the first one. If you check the reports that are going on, it's happened to other teams as well in the previous times. So that means that some sort of security must be given to these football teams when they are moving from wherever they play to their home, to wherever their destination is, so that at least safety is assured. Because I don't know why you would go in to play, or there was going to be a football match, and after you are done and you are moving back, then you would meet your untimely death. So I want to say that maybe the Ministry of Sports should take up this issue seriously. Ghana Football Association, the security part should be intensified. The security part should be intensified. I want to say a very our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and also to the team as well. And this is a very sad one. I'm even short of words. It's a very very sad one. It's a very very sad one. Let's bring you comments on this.
Night should have police escort to avoid situations like this in the future. I would say they shouldn't even travel at night, honestly.
Yeah.
Charlie, how is this possible? What is Ghana turning into? It's about time security patrol of our highway are taken seriously and also beefed up. It's a sad situation for the players' family and club. May his soul rest in peace. Rest in peace, Dominic Frimpong, 20 years old, died doing
20 years old?
Yeah, doing what he loved. Coming back from a game, Ghana football deserves better protection for its players. This should never happen. And there you have it with the comments. And like Philip said, we are sending our heartfelt condolence to the family and to the team. May God comfort them and strengthen them through this hard period. Anyway, on that note...
But hold on. Today, it's expected that we would hear the name of the head coach for
the coach.
Black Stars.
And
still on football.
Still on football. So we will be listening keenly, paying attention to what is going to come from the sports ministry, whether the announcement is going to be there. I think the sports minister, Kofi Adams, spoke to Femo Dunyame yesterday. I don't know if you have that video. If you do, if you want to share with our viewers as to what exactly he said. But maybe we will bring it to you later on the show. Later on the show, you'll have the sports guys coming in to actually
He was like,
speak
if
to
it
us.
doesn't happen, if it didn't happen during last week, then it should be happening on Monday.
On Monday.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sports team, when we get one of them coming, join us on the show, we will definitely ask who may take up the particular role, or this particular role. I understand some names have been added to the already mentioned names, so we still be keeping our eyes on it and see who will become the head coach of the Black Stars ahead of the World Cup that we all believe that Ghana will win the World Cup. Oh, Chris, you don't believe it?
Oh yes, me I believe.
No, you believe it, eh?
I believe it, eh?
You don't believe
the
it?
way I believe it, eh? I believe it rough.
Charlie, we'll win the World Cup.
We'll win it.
Charlie, Antoine Semenyo in the team.
Hey.
In the mix. Sadly, I understand Kudus may not.
May not, because of an injury.
But even we have Partey there.
We have Partey. We have people.
Jordan Ayew. We are also thinking of bringing Dede Ayew. The Ayew brothers. Jordan is scoring 3. Dede is scoring 1. Partey is scoring 1. Then we have Antoine Semenyo crossing. Inaki Williams.
And Inaki Williams.
Oh, we'll bring the cup easy.
So there's actually a squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that. On that note.
Well, maybe they should take me there to coach the people.
You know. Yeah, you have said something.
We will bring the cup. So
let us check out the video of the day.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a cup. Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a cup. Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a cup.
All right, that is very relatable because of the kind of roads we have.
But you see, with movies, it's make believe.
Of course, it's make believe,
Yeah,
but still,
there are green screens.
In some places, the roads are still,
very smooth.
Smooth, you can put your head down.
Okay.
But when you live in places like Amansi West District in the
where we'll be
region,
going,
where we'll be going today, your head will probably be even because there might even be a. Hey,
Anyway, so on that note, let's bring you that report from the Amansia West District, where our Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani has filed that report. The nature of the road is having a toll on a number of things in the community. We'll be speaking about that on the show. So this is our community focus segment. Let's bring you the report after we have conversations on that.
The Amansia West District Coordinating Director paints a picture of how the district is struggling to develop due to bad roads.
Road is our major problem. Amansia West District has about 5 entries to the district, but you can't boast of a kilometer of tarred road. All our roads are deplorable. When the road is bad, it is affecting our local economic development, i.e., people moving in and out of the district to come and do business or to transact business outside. It makes it very demotivating for people to come in or to move out. 2, we have our farmers who are also cultivating and harvesting. Because of the deplorable nature of our feeder roads, they are not able to transport their foodstuffs to Kumasi and other central markets for money making. And people who also wish to have come here to buy are not coming. Because of the bad nature of the road, when officers, we are all Ghanaians, I mean, we can be asked to go and work at anywhere, but it makes it very difficult to get critical staff, teachers, nurses, local government staff, you know, sometimes even the police and other security agencies. When the person comes and the first appearance, you know, he sees this thing, some of them are able to manage to get out of the district.
These concerns resonate with road users who ply the bumpy and dusty roads every day.
Nipa bɔne fo to say I'm Roberts. So much me say babia when the yen say so much gyina babia o met not the more hours as a police for beti say maybe assembly say as o mo to mo kana e on to ko fast en ko je o mo say problem be o kwan so nya agro
mfuturo e wo kwan no so na apart from your na accident so ammonia na wa betima cross accident na afi kra nipa kra wo twam a mfuturo ni timije kwan no boso nti wa ammonia so na wa no so abetima ammonia pro.
Opinion and traditional leaders are also aware of these challenges as they decry how the poor road network not only hinders development but also contribute to the increase in crime and other social vices.
Mimi hunku tali biya wa manse wese ha. Baby abeku biya yimfuturu. Baby abeku biya yimfuturu kumuti manse wese ha de me ka se baby minu ana amiensa kwan ye. Baby a kwan ye de enye. Ya se hia ban no mo na obeboa yen.
The Amasia West District Assembly has recently embarked on the reshaping of roads within some communities using equipment under the District Roads Improvement Program. However, due to financial constraints, the Assembly is unable to purchase fuel to extend the project to more communities. Subsequently, Asanko Gold Ghana Limited has partnered with the Amasia West District Assembly and launched the District Road Improvement Program to cater for bad roads within its catchment area and host communities.
The first place, like I mentioned, we are most grateful to Asanko. We have been looking for this intervention for long. It is better late than never. We are making good use of our drip machines. But you and me know, everybody knows that the usage of machines, heavy equipment and machines like this, it goes with huge capital cost, fueling it alone. So it is a huge challenge for the assembly. So this intervention that the Asanko management have come in, it is going to soften our challenges a bit. Because we are bringing it, that is why it is a collaboration. It is a collaboration between Asanko, the assembly, and Nananom or the community leaders. We are bringing in the machines. Because without the machines going to the road, Asanko will have gone too high. They are willing to help. So we are bringing our machines. Not only that, we are bringing our human resource, the operators, the technical expertise, so that they will be supervising. So Asanko is bringing this support to take care of our fuel, so that within 3 months to 6 months maximum, we will be able to work on some of these our roads to improve the life of the people.
Officials of Asanko Gold Ghana Limited, during an agreement with the Amasia West District Assembly, presented an amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis to support efforts to improve the state of roads within its catchment area.
For officials here at the Amasia West District, solving their road issue is like impacting more on the economic development in this district. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Mansun Kwanta, Amasia West District, Ashanti Region.
So that's Hafiz Tijani joining us with that report here on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV and the Amasia West District, We understand all the roads there are in a very deplorable state, and this is affecting livelihood, is affecting healthcare, it's affecting education, and all you can think about that a particular community should have. Another concern that was raised by the coordinating director of the district, that is the assembly, noted that they do not even have the resources to get the equipment that ideally drip machines are supposed to grade the road, or some sort of work is supposed to be done on the road. They do not have the finances to do that. Now, Asanko has also come inside, or has waded into the conversation to actually work for the people in a way of corporate social responsibility. But let's delve into the issue and understand really what the challenge is for the residents of the Amansia West District. Hafiz Tijani, who filed this report, and is our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, is joining us. Hafiz, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I trust you're doing well.
I'm well, thanks for asking.
Good. Is the situation that the roads in Amansia West District, is it that all the roads there are in a very deplorable state, or some roads are okay, others are not?
So it's all the roads within the Amansia West District. So if you take the three Amansias in the Ashanti region, we are talking about the Amansia West District, which has the capital to be the Manson Konta, and then the Amansia Central, that is the central, which is Jakobu as the capital, and then you have the Amansia South District, where you have Manse Dubia, which is the capital. So when you take the three Amansias, these areas, these three districts don't have proper road network. So for Manse Dubia, which is the Amansia South, we have some time ago, last 2 years, there was some rehabilitation that was done, and that, I will tell you, is the first third road for a very long time that the people have seen. But when you go to the Amansia West District, it is not the case. Unlike other areas within the Ashanti region where you have part of the community not having very good roads, so areas, portions, or some areas have tarred roads, but Amansia West is not like that. All the communities do not have a single tarred road you can boast of. All of them are deplorable, and it is very dusty during the dry season and very muddy in the rainy season, because commuters are not able to travel smoothly on these roads. There have been some interventions by the government, but these interventions by previous government have not yielded any result. They tried to come to the aid of these people who have been persistently calling on the authorities to come in and then help rehabilitate the roads, but that has not seen any attention. But for now, from the Anyang Kwanta area entering to the Amansias, the three Amansias, so that is the gateway from the Anyang Kwanta junction. You are taking a road that will lead you to either Amansia Central, Amansia West, or Amansia South. Some projects have started, and this started somewhere last year, and the contractor has only been able to construct the drains in some of the communities, and also doing the culverts, and also trying to erect the bridge within the area or within some communities. But the road has not been tarred, and that is the concern for most commuters. So the issue even goes beyond just the impact on the education, the health, and also the livelihood. So the coordinating director also mentioned that they are losing critical staff. So staff that have been posted in terms of the local government staff who will be there to man some of these institutions are running away. Sometimes they don't know about the road, but when they come for the first time and they feel that the nature of the road is not going to help their living there, then they go back and then redirect their processes of being transferred to other districts where they know that the road is going to be very good. The road network is very good. And one other concern from commuters is that sometimes it's not only about the accidents that happen on the road when they are traveling, but miscreants also take advantage of the situation to rob commuters of their belongings, and that sometimes results in death. You remember a time ago there was a bullion van that was attacked, and the driver of the bullion van and a worker of the bullion van company were killed, and one other police officer or two police officers were injured. This is the road we are talking about.
Wow. The education bit, I want us to touch a bit on it. How is this having a toll on education in the community? Is it that children are not able to go to school because of the deplorable road, or the schools that are close to the road become dusty as a result of the dusty nature of the road?
Then they are able to go to school because most of them walk to school. It's not a place where you have people being transported to school in buses. Even if people are going to be transported, their parents sometimes would use their motorbikes, and motorbikes are the preferred means of transportation or the commonest means of transportation in that area because of the road network. And that even is a concern because we are having rising cases of motorbike accidents because that is the only means. The vehicles will not want to ply the road. The vehicles that come to the area are just vehicles that are doing intercity. For intracity, you have motorbikes that are concentrated, dominated there, and then transporting people from one place to the other. So children are able to go to school because of the distance. They walk, even if the distance is far, they walk. But for the schools that are dusty, along the tracks that are dusty, that is a major concern. And this is resulting in teachers not accepting postings to these areas or this area, this district, because they feel that when they come, one, the road is not good, traveling from wherever they are coming from, either Kumasi or other communities or other areas within the Ashanti region, the road itself is not good. And when they come, the problem is compounded and they are not able to move or live as they want due to the nature of the road.
All right, so what about access to health care? How do people go to hospitals? I'm more concerned about, say, pregnant women that always have to attend, the antenatal classes or sessions. How does it work for them?
Well, so like I mentioned, the issue of motorbikes. They use motorbikes, the taxis that transport people, and the vehicles that will do intracity, sometimes vehicles that are supposed to pick, let's say, 5 people or 4 plus a driver, 5 in the vehicle. That is the normal boarding for taxi cabs. But they end up taking over the number, and you feel that pregnant women who have found themselves in this condition don't feel comfortable, and the level of income within these areas is very low. You can't have someone trying to maybe dropping or charter a taxi for the wife to be attending antenatal every day. So some of them also take the risk of using the motorbikes to take their pregnant women to these health facilities so that they can reduce the burden and the cost. But critically, when it comes to delivery or labor, that is where you have people compromising or just trying to maybe manage the situation in getting some of the taxis or these pragia, the tricycles, we call them pragia, transporting the pregnant women to these areas.
All right, still on healthcare, have the hospitals actually reported any increase when it comes to certain illnesses, especially the ones that have to do with
respiratory?
Yeah, respiratory problems because of the dust?
Time ago, we worked on a story that the health officials had talked about that, and even during their monthly or quarterly reviews of health or of their reviews in terms of the health situation within the district, some of these issues continue to come up. And because people are not getting access in terms of the community, so for people who live around Manson Kwanta, that is the district capital, access to the hospital is just maybe a walking distance to these hospitals. But others who live within areas that are not close to the district capital, they will either have to rely on the motorbikes to go to the district hospital, or they cannot be visiting the TIS compound, because these communities, most of the health facilities we have at the TIS compound. And this is also resulting in people not getting the attendance. So health authorities there are not able to also get the attendance, people going for antenatals, or maybe when they are going to deliver, they resort to these traditional methods or these traditional PEP attendants who sometimes the health officials are worried that this situation might result in maternal mortality and neonatal mortality. So these issues come up whenever they are having their review.
Havis, is it a mining community?
Yes, a typically farming and mining community. So Amancia West is a farming community. So you have farmers engaging in cocoa and cassava and other plantain production. And it's a dominated mining community where you have illegal mining, also one issue that is affecting the district.
Wow. So if it's a farming and a mining community, that means you would have heavy trucks plying the various roads in the community. The reason why Asanko is also trying to help. But is Asanko the only mining company in the community?
Asanko is the only mining community, legally small-scale mining community, but others who do, we have other small-scale miners who work, licensed small-scale miners who work, but not with the capacity of, or not to the capacity of Asanko Gold Mine. And we have illegal mining that is also happening there.
Okay. As part of the tours of the roads minister, I'm sure he was in the Ashanti region last week. Has there been any visit to this particular road or to the community yet?
No. The road minister has not gone there. So his concentration had to do with the Swami interchange project, which we know some of the controversies that arose from it recently, and also the expressway, the Kumasi-Accra expressway, which the government wants to put so much attention on.
Okay, just to chip this in, so the projects on the Swami interchange, has it resumed?
Yeah, so the road minister told us that they have given money to the contractors. The last time we worked on it was the artisans that were protesting about the dusty nature of the road and the slow pace of work. That because the contractors are not on site, the dust is affecting them. So we are revisiting that this week to speak to the contractor to find out from him whether or not the monies have been paid, and if there are timelines they can give so that we can also update our audience.
Beautiful. Hafiz, thank you so much for your time. Hafiz Tijani is Middle Belt Bureau Chief, and he has spoken to us extensively about what is happening in the Amansia West District, where the residents, they are not excited at all about the deplorable nature of the roads in the district. Roads, no road. Reason is almost all the roads there are deplorable state. So you wouldn't want to have a community where you understand is a mining community, as a farming community as well, and we know that once you have resources in your community is supposed to be one of the best, but we are not getting that there. So if it's having a toll on health, it's having a toll on education, it's having a toll on livelihood, and looking at the dusty nature of the road, I'm not sure that you'd want to stay in a community like that. And even if staff of the assembly are running away because the place, the development there is not what we are supposed to give them. Ideally, they are supposed to get better than what they are receiving. So they will definitely be running away and they wouldn't want to work there. So we've heard extensively from Hafiz Tijani. One of the biggest issue is the fact that the drip machines were actually brought in to help reshape these roads. But if the assembly is also complaining about resources, then there's a bigger problem, because ideally there should be some sort of revenue or resources being generated so that you be able to fuel your trucks or equipment and shape the roads for the residents to go about their day-to-day activities. But Chris, will you want to stay in such a community?
No. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them if they choose not to stay in such communities, because obviously, apart from the stress of getting to where you have to work, we also have the stress of, what might happen to your health. You understand? Because dealing with dust every day, it actually affects your respiratory system. And this is one thing that you cannot take away if some people are trying to protect themselves. And also one thing that troubles me is for the fact that, armed robbers take advantage of the poor state of road to actually attack people.
To attack people. And once there is a deplorable road, you would have people like that. I tried a report from Santor, East Legon Hills. The road from Santor, I think this is Santor Junction to Ashaman, is in a very bad state. Down, I understand the contractor is on the road. Those days, the residents will tell you that we record a number of robbery incidents here because of the deplorable road. When you're attacking you can't drive.
Oh no, you can't. You can't drive. I've seen that road before. I've seen that road when I was trying to explore the place.
So there's that kind of
bad
challenge there. So that is what the people of Amansia are facing. Let me speak to the assembly member for Ekropon electoral area in the Amansia West District, David Amponsa. David, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I trust you are doing well.
By the special grace of God, we are doing very well.
Good. So your name is David Asamoah.
Yes, please.
Good. We understand the deplorable nature of the road in your community as having a toll on livelihood. Tell us, how is this affecting your residents?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Honestly, when you talk about Amansia West District and Ekropon electoral area specifically, we have serious challenges with our road infrastructure. And I want to believe that the whole of Ashanti region, we are the worst hit when it comes to, road issues. We have about 64 communities in the district, and we can't boast of just 1 kilometer of tarred road.
Oh, you mean all the roads are bad?
Yes, throughout the district. We don't have just a single kilometer of road that is tarred. Almost all our roads are deplorable, and it is affecting us so much. Now, these are the areas. If you look at security, I heard your panelists saying that, most of these robbery incidents happen on bad roads. And it's same here. We have several instances of robbery because of the nature of the roads in our district. Just that we are fortunate that we have a robust police service that are helping to, keep the situation every now and then. And, when we enter the dry season, we have a lot of respiratory tract infections as a result of the dusty nature of our roads. It becomes very difficult, especially those who live along the main roads. You battle with dust here and there. Those that are selling along the road, it's too much of a problem to deal with, and so that is what we are facing as residents. And because of the fact that the roads are also deplorable, lorry fares here are also very, very high. Yes. Distances that actually should have cost you like 5 cedis in terms of lorry fare, can cost you about 20, 30 cedis.
Hold on. 20, 30 cedis, but it should have been 5 Ghana cedis. So you are looking at, say, 150% or 200% increment.
Sometimes.
Wow.
And because of the nature of the road, many people or commuters resort to, these Okada, thing. And that also endangers our lives because, some of them could be reckless and find themselves involved in some fatal accidents. And that is really, really having a toll on the people here. And from that, when it rains, we also have to deal with issues of flood here and there. But we are going through a lot, and I think that it is high time government pays attention to the road networks in our district and come to our aid.
David, I can see some of the roads in your community on screen. Some, I think that were tarred, but have gone bad. Is that the issue? Is it that you've not received all the roads in your community haven't been tarred at all, or some were tarred, sort of asphalting was done on the road, but because of poor maintenance, they are now in deplorable state? Is that what it is?
Yeah, somewhere 2008, 2009, we had our road tiled from Omanajaye. Amansia West, we share boundary with Bekwai municipality. And so the first community that you enter through Bekwai is Omanajaye. So we had our road tiled from Omanajaye to Abori. That is the main highway. And then, like you rightly said, due to maintenance, almost all the road, is very, very deplorable now as we speak. You cannot drive like 5 seconds without stepping on a brake, even though there are some contractors around working. But it seems that the progress of work is very, very slow. I have seen somebody, a contractor, shop working on this same road that I was talking about. But apart from this very road, all the roads in the district have never seen, bitumen before. So that was the only road that was tiled in 2008, 2009. Apart from that, there is one stretch from Amantia, that is in Carrier, down to Antwerp, and it also goes through Istase to Akateniase and some other, big communities around that area. It has never been tiled.
Wow.
The same way, you have several networks of roads within the district, and we share boundaries with about 4 or 5 different districts, and there are adjoining roads that connect to all these districts, but none of them has ever seen bitumen or being tiled before.
Wow, this is interesting. Have you had the before the current roads minister? I'm sure maybe the previous roads ministers may have visited it, as Sobuache, Kwesi, Amakwata, and other road ministers. Have they visited the place before?
Yeah, I remember the former road minister, Mr. Amakwata, visited the road. He promised that they were going to expedite actions to get our roads fixed. And when Honorable Asenso Boachi took over, he brought contractors. I think he brought Kofi Job on one of our stretch from Pechi to Antwerp. He brought G-Shop from Anyang to the Anyang Kwanta Abore stretch. As we speak, I am aware that G-Shop is on the road from Anyang Kwanta to Antwerp. He's working, but just that I believe that the progress of work is very, very slow, even though they are still on site. But from Pechi to Antwerp, that was being worked on by Kofi Job Constructions. I think work has halted for almost a year. He was almost done with the, trenches and bridges and everything. The road was in a very good shape. It was only left with a bitumen, but they've left the place almost a year ago, and the road is getting worse by each day. And I understand Don Cross, which is also another construction company, was working on the stretch from Antwerp through Mosiasu to Amantia. He has also left site. There is nothing to indicate that work is going on there. Of course, there are several other roads that are lying, idle. Nobody is on them working, thanks to the DRIP initiative that was taken by the president, the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
What the district assembly, together with the honorable assembly members, are resorting to now in, getting some of our roads in motorable state.
Wow. And even with that, we understand you have an issue when it comes to resources and how you're going to fuel the drip machines. Is your MP Chinebwa?
Honorable Chinebwa
Kudia. Okay, good. Before you come to the issues you have with the drip machines, what exactly the problem is? Maybe the coordinator, Neil Van der Poel, would come there and assist the team. Has the MP, I'll put it this way, what has the MP done in terms of lobbying and bringing in maybe the current rules minister or the ministry to also look at what is happening in the area?
Yeah, I personally have had some briefings from him, and he indicates that he has been following up on the contractors, the two of them specifically, Kofi Job and G-Shop. And they do indicate that there are some financial, constraints. You need to get money from government to, kind of fund the road construction. And sometimes when it's not forthcoming, the only thing you probably, as an MP, he could do is to liaise with the road minister to see to it that those contractors are paid their money so that they can come back to site and continue with the work. So that has been the communication so far. But we are hoping that probably they will be able to get funding from government to continue with the project.
Okay. So now it's about funds. What is the issue with the drip machines as well? So that at least if we are waiting for a bigger one from the ministry, the drip machines can be used to make the road more travel.
I think basically it has to do with funding. It has to do with funding. I remember when this drip initiative started, there was some funds allocation to get the drip in operation. But as we speak, nothing of the sort is happening. So what we do as a district is that the DC, try to find means to reach out to people that will be in the position to support in terms of fueling the machines and also paying for the operators of the machines. And that has been a very challenging situation. So sometimes when the community, for example, in one of my communities, we needed to work on the road. So we approached him and he laid bare some of the challenges. And then we said, okay, we have seen the challenges. We want to support the drip team so that they will come and fix the roads for us. So sometimes it becomes a financial burden on the individuals and the community.
Wow.
So in my case, we supported with fuel, and even though the DC brought in some fuel to for the work to take off, but we at a point in time had to support. And one of the things is that if you look at the Common Fund administration as we speak, it is tied to some specific spendings or areas. Now, if you look at the Common Fund that comes to the district, there has been specifications as to what the Common Fund should be used for. There are allocations to the 24-hour model market, which is about 25% of the Common Fund that comes down to the district. There is a 10% allocation for health, education, and sanitation, and all those things. And so there is no place in the Common Fund that could be used to support the drip operations. And if the district is not in a position to generate enough internally generated funds, it becomes very difficult to get monies from, such sources to fund the operations of the drip.
Wow.
And so I think that government need to take a second look at some of these issues and see if, there could be some allocations to support the drip operations in almost all the districts in the country. Because if you have come up with specifications as to how the Common Fund should be spent, and there is no allocation for or to support the drip machines, then probably they will be sitting idle at the district assembly doing nothing to help maintain our roads.
Wow.
And that has been the major challenge with the drip machines.
So from the analysis you have given and from what you have said, the drip machines are just there, idle, and they are not being used.
Well, in my district, we are trying to make good use of it because, look, our roads are such that they need to be maintained at least every 4 or 5 months. You have to. And so that is why I'm saying that we as a district, we are doing well because our DC, sometimes have ways of generating some funds from individuals who can be of help. And so we resort to those individuals to assist us by way of, fueling some of the machines for us. And that is why our machines are not sitting idle. But, as we speak, the road from Kwaku Krom Junction to Miaweni, we have worked on that one.
So from Kwaku Krom to Miaweni is how many kilometers?
It's about 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from Abore to Omanajari, where the contractor Bishop has gotten to, the DC and the district assembly as a whole, through the sponsorship of some of these individuals that I mentioned earlier, has fixed the road. I think we were able to work on the road twice last year.
Okay.
Not only that, the road from Antwa Krom to Ahirwa, it's been worked on 2 different occasions. From Ahirwa to Akateniase, Bonteso, and those areas, the DC has done what he could. Sometimes we need to be frank and sincere to ourselves. He's doing the best he can. And that is what we are saying, that in order to get, these roads fixed within time, there should be some allocations to fund the operations of the drip.
Wow.
Either from central government, or there should be a way of expanding our, IGF mobilization, so that we will be able to support the operations of the drip machines.
Beautiful. But for how long have you been an assembly member?
Well, this is my first time.
Well, you're good. You're good. And the way you've been able to check all the issues within your electoral area and the district as a whole and all that. But looking at how things are going, is there any promise, like, though you are doing your best, you are trying to ensure that you get the needed results for the district or for the community from your assembly level, is there anything you are saying that at the end of the day, the district will have good roads? Because you said it's been like this for a very long time.
Yeah. My biggest plea to governments is that, when you go to some districts, there are so many issues that the people are battling with. Over here, our major issue has to do with our road networks. So my only plea is that government should consider, allocating funds within our main yearly budgetary allocations to fund the roads for us. It's not only within Amancia West. Even though I am a resident of the Amancia West district, and that is where I work, there are other adjoining districts like Amancia South, which was carved out of our district. They are also facing similar, challenges. So you go to Amancia Central, same. But I believe that if you look at the Amancia enclave, successive governments have not paid much attention to our road networks, and it's very sad because I believe that we have been marginalized for far too long, like you said earlier, because this problem has persisted, from time immemorial. We're born since the time that we were born into the district. The situation has been the same. So we are only praying that government will make funds available to the contractors that are currently working on our roads, and then to get them back on site to finish.
Anyway, so unfortunately we lost David Asamoah there, but that's been a very good one. He's really broken down the issues. He's just an assembly member. But he's spoken so well. He's spoken like a DC and somebody who understands the issue, and from what he said, that's where he grew up.
Yes,
and he's working there, so he understands what is happening.
He's immersed in the situation.
Yes, he's immersed in the situation. And for the fact that you have a community and you do not have the roads and all that. But just to wrap up with David. David, you were making an appeal to the government. So wrap up on that, and you can take leave of us.
Okay. Thank you very much. So like I was saying, we are pleading with government to make some funds available for the contractors that are currently working on our roads, so that they'll be able to complete the project in the infrastructure programs that they are undertaking. But that has been our biggest challenge. And we believe that when that is done, it will make life very easier for us. It will enhance trade and boost other economic
activities there. Okay. David, thank you so much for your time. We are most grateful. David Asamoah is the assembly member for Akro Point electoral area in the Amancia West district. I want to say a very big thank you to you, and keep doing the good job. He should go beyond the assembly member here. I think the knowledge he has and the understanding he has of the particular district, he should go beyond the assembly member of Akro Point electoral area. I want to see him at the top. But the most important issue is that the government should also pay attention to the people of Amancia West, because they are also taxpayers, they are residents, they are citizens. At least they also deserve good roads. Yes, so that when you are moving from that particular road he mentioned, from somewhere to Miaweni, is the Miaweni part that I really remember. And you wouldn't have a very deplorable road, a 6-kilometer stretch that is in a very deplorable stretch. And even if you're supposed to go to the market, you can't easily move there. If you're supposed to go there to spend holidays, you can't go there. Because once you have a very good road in a particular district and a particular community, it tends to increase mobility in the area. So you are going to have issues with economic activities booming from stage 1 to stage 10. And people will be moving through the places now. People will now be putting up structures. You'll be seeing industries moving in and all that. So if Asanko is doing its part, that is an organization, but the government can also look at it and also do its part. And maybe the MP, the DC, they should all come together, because you don't want to hear the same story after 5 or 6 years that, oh, this is how the community has been without good roads. There's a few of them that were constructed or were fixed, and they've gone back to square one because they weren't maintained well. And even when you're posting someone there, the person wouldn't want to go. I always say, Accra is not Ghana. Ghana is not in Accra. Accra is the whole big, Ghana is a big country. So we shouldn't be focusing solely on a particular place.
Basically,
you understand? We understand.
Just because it's the capital.
This is the capital. But even the capital is even congested. This morning I was listening to the City Breakfast Show, and in the 80s, we had 3 institutions being brought on board. That is the Boche in Van Sepem. Then we also had the High Court, and that's the Supreme Court, rather. That's the Supreme Court. Then we also had the Accra. And from what Godfred Akoto Bafo said, is actually 2 excellence and 1 disappointment. The disappointment was mentioned in Accra, and we've not had anything to show for it that Accra is the city. You understand? But if you're able to decentralize, you're able to take development to other places, and other places develop, you wouldn't be having pressure only in Accra.
True.
You understand? You go to a place like Ebri, the roads are good. Look at the number of people who go there and go and relax. You go to places like, even where A+ held the Easter, Gomwa, you understand? Developing all the places. So you move development around, and it's not centralized at a particular place. Because you move to other countries and you're saying that development is actually moving across the country, not stagnant at one particular place. So if people of Amansia West should come to Accra and want to say, oh, I'm going to Accra, and they'll come, they'll see the big roads and all that. But when they go to their places, they don't see them. You understand?
It must be heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's very heartbreaking. And the fact that David speaks well tells me that there are educated people in there.
Yeah.
So if they are
of course, teachers are being posted, but
they are running away. So if there are educated people there who go, they would be able to stay in the community and also add their quota to the development of the place. Issues like deplorable roads will be sucking them away. Sure. You understand? So I think it should be checked. Anyway, that's why we bring you the community segment here on Breakfast Daily. Chris?
Yeah. Now let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be bringing you more on the show.
Of forgiveness. May God grant you the grace.
This April, 97.3 City FM invites you into a deeper place of faith, reflection, and divine connection with Seasons of Prayer, a special edition focused on the family. Step into a sacred month of renewal designed to strengthen homes, restore relationships, and draw families closer to God. In the midst of life's pressures and responsibilities, this is your moment to pause, seek, and reconnect together with the source of peace, unity, and direction. Whether you are trusting God for healing in your home, wisdom for parenting, unity in relationships, or a stronger spiritual foundation for your family, this is more than a program. It's a divine appointment. A time to reflect, refuel, and realign your family with God's purpose. Join us from April 1st to April 30th, 2026, only on 97.3 City FM. Tune in to Midnight Cry from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. This is your day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Prayer Encounter from 12 noon to 1 p.m. For more information, call 0244-981112. Let this be the season where your family prays together, stands together, and experiences God's hand together. Seasons of Prayer is powered by 97.3 City FM.
station full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Umaru Sanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has 3 legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel One TV.
No power. Another year is here. A new beginning. A fresh opportunity to draw closer to God and to one another. This Family Month, your family radio station, 97.3 CDFM, invites you and your loved ones to something truly special. The 2026 Family Consecration Service, a sacred gathering where families come together in prayer, faith, and unity. It's a moment to dedicate your home to God's loving care, to seek His protection, His guidance, and His peace over every household. Come and experience divine connection as we pray for strength, restoration, unity, and direction for our families. Married couples will also have the opportunity to renew their vows, reaffirming love, commitment, and purpose. The date is Friday, the 1st of May, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel, Accra. Bring your entire family and come expectant. And let's commit our homes into God's hands. 2026 Family Consecration Service is powered by 97.3 CDFM with support from Channel One TV, because the family that prays together stays together.
Calls me up in the power for Christ the solid.
What's up, people? It's your star Kwame Eugene. So there's a good family I have of Ochame Kwame, and I keep saying this to my colleagues all the time. His ability to actually keep records of everything he's written, every song he's recorded. He has this book that all his raps are in there. He left it at my place some time ago, and I was actually amazed. And I think it's a memory that would always be in my mind. The fact that some of us, we enter the studio and we just spit fire and we think we are spitting fire, but he actually has records of everything. God bless Ochame Kwame for being consistent that long in the industry. And 50 years is a blessing. It's something we call for ourselves as well. One day I would want Ochame Kwame to say something about me. So sharing the same platform with Ochame Kwame, it's no news. We've done this multiple times. So pull up your numbers. Let's have some rockstar fun with the legend together on the 18th of April, +233. I'll be there, so don't stay home. Be there, come in your numbers. Let's have some serious fun. We didn't come here to play. I have to steal. Number one, ladies and gentlemen.
Je lève ma voix à mon âme, tout ce grand feu qui brûle en moi, bien pur que tu le saches, que je ne suis pas lâche. Ton mot sans moi deviendrait sans froid. Oh, 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 oh. Bah pourquoi je suis moi? Pourquoi tu es toi? Pourquoi sommes-nous là? Pourquoi cette bataille? Pourquoi c'est comme ça? Demande que ça va pas. Maman, ça va mal, ça ne va pas. Serre-moi la main, oui, refaire le monde, changeons celle-là. Ça ne va pas. serre-moi la main, oui, refaire le monde, changeons celle-là. Prends pas du plaisir à voir les larmes d'autrui, redonne-lui sa vie, redonne-lui sourire. Apprécie la vie, soleil qui louit, l'esprit qui vit. Prenez-moi, respirons. Le délire, ça suffit, oui, ça suffit. Oh, oh, bah pourquoi je suis moi? Pourquoi tu es toi? Pourquoi sommes-nous là? Pourquoi cette bataille? Pourquoi c'est comme ça? Dans mon cœur ça va pas, maman ça va mal, ça ne va pas. Serre-moi la main, oui, refaire le monde, changeons celle-là. Ça ne va pas, refaire le monde, refaire le monde, yeah, refaire le monde. First chapter of my life came in with a lot of smiles. Thought life was rosy, but after a couple of miles, I noticed the hurt, struggles and pains you try to hide from me, mama. It didn't take too long to become a little wiser. You ought to be written or be the writer. I came to understand that many things where they glitter are not always the things we're gonna make you a winner. A bottle it up, more pain in my bottle. There goes more pain in my bottle. A bottle it up, more pain in my bottle. There goes more pain in my bottle. I'll keep going, going on for you. I'll be running on for you. I'll be singing on for you. I'll keep winning, winning it all for you. 'Cause I know in my soul and my body, from the skies you were watching over me. I'll keep praying to be worthy, holding on to faith and hope, breaking up the pain, breaking up the struggles, holding up the battles, looking like I'm insane. I'm insane, I'm insane. A bottle it up, more pain in my bottle. There goes more pain in my bottle. I bottle it up, more pain in my bottle. There goes more pain in my bottle. Should I let it out? Should I break it all up? There goes more pain in my bottle. Should I let it all out? Or should I break it all up? There goes more pain in my bottle. Should I let it out? There goes more pain in my bottle. Should I let it out? Was once at the bottom, now I'm here. Was down in the mud when no one cared. Had to fight or I had to face my fears. Wipe my face and forget my tears. I know come from a family where ghetto. I know come from a party with the best. I just wanna make it quick, out of stress though. Oh joy, your girl is in distress. Bless my soul, bless my hustle, bless my game, bless my fame. A glass of lemonade, life served me lemons. I squeezed it and turned it into juice. A glass of lemonade, a little ginger, some sugar with ice. I mixed it twice. A glass of lemonade, this is what I made with my life. A glass of lemonade, this is what I made with my life. A glass of lemonade, glass of lemonade, glass of lemonade. And if I stumble, my fire I'll double, 'cause I know it from far away. I'll remain humble, throw you puncho if you try to steal my lunch away. 'Cause mama once told me, girl, make you think twice in your life. If life gives you dilemma, only take one step back, comprehend before act. Oh mama, I listen to you mama. What you got, mama? Hey, I dedicate to mama. All the winners, mama. We'll be chillin', mama. Hey, we'll get there. 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 A glass of lemonade, life served me lemons. I squeezed it into juice. A glass of lemonade, a little ginger, some sugar with ice. I mixed it twice. A glass of lemonade, this is what I made with my life. A glass of lemonade, this is what I made with my life. A glass of lemonade, glass of lemonade, glass of lemonade. A glass of lemonade, a glass of lemonade. Glass of lemonade, yeah, glass of lemonade. Oh, a glass of lemonade, yeah, a glass of lemonade, yeah, glass of lemonade. A glass of lemonade. Je lève ma voix, mon âme, tout ce grand feu qui brûle en moi, bien pur que tu le saches, que je ne suis pas lâche. Ton mot sans moi deviendrait sans froid. Oh, 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 oh. Bah, pourquoi je suis moi? Pourquoi tu es toi? Pourquoi sommes-nous là? Pourquoi cette bataille? Pourquoi c'est comme ça? Demande que ça va pas. Maman, ça va mal. Ça ne va pas. Serre-moi la main, oui. Refaire le monde. Changeons celle-là. Ça ne va pas. Serre-moi la main, oui. Refaire le monde. Changeons celle-là. Prends pas du plaisir à avoir les larmes d'autrui. Redonne-lui sa vie, oh redonne-lui sourire. Apprécie la vie, le soleil qui louit, l'esprit qui veut vivre. Prenons, respirons, Le délire, ça suffit, oui, ça suffit, oh, oh, hey. Mais pourquoi je suis moi? Pourquoi tu es toi? Pourquoi sommes-nous là? Pourquoi cette bataille? Pourquoi c'est comme ça? De mon cœur ça va pas, maman ça va mal, ça ne va pas. Serre-moi la main, oui, refaire le monde, changeons celle-là. Ça ne va pas. Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you walk to the way you move. And everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home, you're like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment before I go? 'Cause I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know. You look like a movie, you sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of where we were young. Let me photograph you with this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old and made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. I was so scared to face my fears, 'cause nobody told me that you'd be here. And I swear you moved overseas, that's what you said when you left me. You still look like a movie, you still sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of where we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old and made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. When we were young, when we were young, when we were young, when we were young. It's hard to win me back, everything just takes me back to when you were there, to when you were there. And a part of me keeps holding on, just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Do you still care? It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of where we were young. Oh, let me photograph you with this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old and made us restless. Oh, I'm still mad, I'm getting old, it makes me reckless. It was just like a movie. just like a movie. It was just like a song when we were young.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's still Breakfast Daily. Right now, it's time for us to get into some sports. And joining us today, in a very long time, or maybe the first time, because he's always on radio, is Edwin Kwakofi. Hi, Edwin.
Hi, Chris.
How
Good.
are you?
I'm good. How about you?
It's nice to see you here, you know. It feels like different.
It's always on CBS.
Always on CBS.
Yeah.
Or always in the office and I'm disturbing him.
Behind
you know?
somewhere, doing work somewhere.
He's always working.
The man he's been working. He's been working.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. Anytime I see you on TV, I just look on longingly.
Oh, to come?
Yes, longingly.
Oh, now you are here. You are welcome.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
and he's here to stay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
because of his plenty things that he does, so I don't know whether he'll be able to make it here.
Yeah.
every now
I'll
and then.
try my
But
best.
anyway, with the world of sports, we received a very shocking news of the demise of Dominic.
Yes.
From
Dominic
Frimpong. What really happened?
Look, so he's a player of Brecum Chelsea, which is one team in the Ghana Premier League. So over the weekend, they played Samatex, a match they lost. So on their way back,
and they even lost.
Yeah, they lost the
Wow.
match. On their way back on the Goso Bibiani Road, they were unfortunately attacked by armed robbers who shot at the bus. So the other team members and the officials, they escaped by running into the bushes. Unfortunately, Dominic was struck in the head by a bullet and did not make it. So he passed on, and it's a very unfortunate incident that's happened. It's obviously led to conversations about safety of clubs, because most people over the years have been talking about adding police security for the clubs whenever they go to these matches. Obviously, the clubs themselves too, because they don't want to spend too much on accommodation.
Okay, so they want to move back
as quickly as possible after matches. So this is exactly what happened. They wanted to get back home, and unfortunately they were attacked. And it's not just a one-time thing. There have been several incidents of clubs being attacked on the road back from Ghana Premier League games. It's a regular thing, which of course has added to the calls for security. I think the most recent saw League One Cities, their bus attacked as well. They were shot at by armed robbers. Fortunately, they managed to escape without anyone getting hurt. There have been cases involving Kumasi Asante Kotoko as well, other clubs like Hohoi as well. So several clubs have been attacked by robbers. None have had fatalities
like
what we've seen from Brecum Chelsea, and it's just a very.
And we understand he's a young man, 20 years.
Very, very young man. He was on loan from Adriana, so his parents' club is actually Adriana FC, but they loaned him to Brecum Chelsea in January. Oh. So yes,
he was going to be with Brecum Chelsea for how many months?
Until the end of the season.
Okay.
Until the end of the season. So he came from Atram Divisie, which is another club in the Division 1 league, but he had risen so quickly in such a short amount of time that people had high hopes for him. So seeing his life just cut short is just a sad.
And talking about these robberies, do they only happen at night?
No, they don't always happen at night, but obviously these players are big targets because some...
Oh, the players are targets?
Yeah, the players are definitely targets.
So it's not that it just happened or they were just on the road and it happened?
planned.
Yes, it usually, because the robbers or people generally know that these players are going to travel at night, because the games usually kick off at 3 p.m. end after around 5. The players are going to start traveling maybe around 5 or 6. So obviously it's going to enter the night, and their route is pretty well known. So they are the ones who are targeted by these robbers because they think they can get some money, some goods from these players and officials. Some erroneously think that the Ghana Premier League players earn a lot of money, but that's
but
obviously
even if you
not
want
true.
to get money,
But
is it on the road?
You know, like we also witness highway robberies and
Yes.
all that. I think it can also be one of that.
yeah, that is it. But actually, there's some thoughts that the players might be targeted. Yeah, and teams as well in general might be targeted on these roads.
I'm sure that the investigation has started, so
yes,
we
the
know what
investigation has definitely
will
started.
come off with that particular investigation. But this is the time the sports ministry and also the agencies are supposed to set up and ensure that we get some sort of security for the various teams.
Exactly, that's a conversation that we've been having for it seems like years now.
Wow.
Yeah, not much has been done in terms of that. Yeah.
Anyway, so with that said, and the plea we are making to the sports ministry, the sports minister Kofi Adams spoke with Femi Adunyame. I'm pretty sure last week he even spoke with the sports team. Yes. Saying that today we should have our coach name.
Yeah, he said from Friday through the weekend to today, today being the last day, we should expect a new Black Stars head coach. Obviously, Otto Addo fired after his very unsuccessful second term with the Black Stars, except for the qualification to the 2026 World Cup. People had been waiting for that. But because of how close it is to the World Cup, now people are clamoring for a new head coach. The Black Stars can't do much without a head coach going into the World Cup. And very soon they'll have to pick a 26-man squad for a tournament, and that coach is going to be behind that. So a new coach is searched for. Initially, we got 3 names that were highly tipped to become the Black Stars head coach. They were Paulo Bento, there were Carlos Queiroz and Fernando Santos. 3 very qualified coaches in their own right. But then we've seen a couple of names pop up because obviously the GFA is interviewing a number of candidates to ensure they get the right person for the job. 2 names that have popped up since are Tom St. Fit, who is the head coach of Mali. He has constantly expressed his desire to coach the Black Stars, even though he's the head coach of another country.
But why does he want to quit Mali and come to Ghana?
I don't know. He's always seen Ghana as the ultimate African destination.
Mali is a good team, I guess.
Mali is a good team, but honestly, they can't compare to the Black Stars. The Black Stars have the better players, have the better pedigree globally.
Has the Black Stars met Mali before?
Yes, constantly. In the African Cup of Nations.
Did we score them or
the
did
World
they
Cup
score
qualifiers?
us?
Oh, we beat them in both encounters, home and away.
Really?
Yes, we beat them home and away.
Okay.
So
but Mali didn't qualify for the World Cup.
Mali did not qualify for the World Cup. Okay. So Tom St. Fit has constantly said he would like to coach the Black Stars, and he even said if he was offered the Black Stars job, that was before the Black Stars played Mali. If he was offered the Black Stars job, then he would take it. He would leave Mali. Yes,
and Mali is still keeping him.
Well, that's how excited he is for the job. But the other person who's come up is Slaven Bilic.
But hold on, the Mali coach.
Yes.
The way he's very eager to do the job.
Yeah.
Does he have the capacity to really handle the team if it's given to him?
No, he's actually a very good coach. His time at Mali might not be flattering to him in terms of his abilities, but consistently over years he's proven to himself to be a very competent coach. So even before the World Cup qualifiers, he was being tipped as one person who could fit in with the Black Stars, especially after Ghana failed to qualify for the AFCON. But unfortunately, because the GFA decided to stick with Otto Addo, we couldn't make the move. But right now he seems to be a good coach with a shouting for the job. But the other name that's come up is Slaven Bilic.
Okay.
Slaven Bilic used to be the head coach of West Ham United in the Premier League. Also has coached the Croatian national team. So very experienced, a good tactical genius who could fit in. He has the pedigree that a lot of the players would respect because of his previous jobs. So he is definitely someone who could stand in for the Black Stars job. But as you said, the sports minister assured us that we'd get a name today, by the end of today. So we are waiting for him. Personally, I don't think we would get it today, but I'm sure during the week, yes, we will get a name because time is running out.
How many days more? 60 days? Or?
Yes, there are 58 days. 58 days left to the World Cup. So we need a name. We need a coach who can select the players that will go for the World Cup because we've already seen a setback in the injury to Kudus Mohammed. Yes, so
he may not be able to play.
Yes, there's a huge chance he might not make it to the World Cup. So being one of our most talented players, it means the coach will now have to be extra good to be able to get these players playing well in time for the World Cup.
He would have to do his selection devoid of political interference anyway.
That's what
which is very important.
That is
now, Charlie, they said Arsenal on the seat up.
Charlie, it's gone from quadruple to treble, and now maybe even the double won't happen. Because over the weekend, Arsenal lost to Bournemouth at home by 2-1.
Whoa.
And Manchester City, of course, we saw their result against Chelsea. They won by 3-0 away from home. So that puts them 6
Yesterday
points.
I was somewhere and the Chelsea thing really didn't go down with someone.
Oh, the Chelsea fans, a lot of them wanted the results, that result, because they don't want Arsenal to win the league.
Oh, okay.
And now they are getting pretty close because now the gap has been cut to 6 points.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that is Arsenal will travel to Manchester City on Sunday. So they'll play each other on Sunday. If City wins it, of course, the lead is further cast down to 3 points. And then Manchester City themselves have a game in hand over Arsenal. So they have one game that Arsenal have already played. And if they play it and they win it, they go to level on points with Arsenal and it becomes a huge step in the title race. So people are criticizing Arteta for his selections, his approach in games. They feel that he's become a little too pragmatic, a little too hesitant in going after wins. So it's allowing other teams to get at them and secure the results that Arsenal would want. So it's become a very dangerous thing. And statistically, Arteta has his worst run of results in April.
Okay.
Yes, April is his worst month in terms of results.
Why?
They always lose or draw, fail to get this.
Then they should check it.
And then Pep Guardiola for Manchester City, April is statistically his best month in terms of results. So it makes it very interesting in terms of how the direction in which both clubs are going at the moment. Yes. So Arsenal really need to watch out from quadruple. Who knows? They might not even get to one trophy this season. And if that happens, it's going to be a really bad time for Arsenal fans worldwide.
Yeah, Arsenal fans. I know one big Arsenal fan, one top man.
Yes, one top man. Yes,
he's an Arsenal.
For his sake, we hope it goes well.
Anyway, Edwin, thank you so much for your time, and that's how we wrap up today's edition of Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. Nana Tufo Boati started the show. I am Philip Nihilate.
And my name is Chris Carter. Thank you so much for joining, and see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of the show.